quick
It's a
game.
scorcher.
Cool.
It did cool down today, though, which is
It
nice.
did cool down today, yes.
I think
But it's supposed to...
Did it rain again tonight? I don't even know. I haven't.
A little bit.
Okay.
But next week, I think we're just supposed to hit the 90s again by like the middle of the week again.
Oh boy, can't wait. I had a new lemonade can in my fridge for you, Mike, because I had bought a 4-pack.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing lined up where you came over. And I ended up drinking them all this week, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll get more, but I had a new one.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, no,
Which ones?
I bought a 4-pack of the Burley Oak ones, and they were really good. Like, they were just solid lemonades. I would probably buy that again, to be honest.
Honestly, I want someone to sell fucking Willie's Brew around my territory so I can buy the mango one because it was that good. It reminded me of like the smoothie beers that like the breweries were putting out.
They're thick?
No, but like it had that like so much flavor to it that like just the mango. Like none of the other ones tasted like this one.
I've never tried them, so I don't know. But I think I have stores that have it from prior. Anyways, welcome, everyone, to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about alcohol too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening is the anime senpai himself. Some might call him Martini Mike, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing?
Hot!
I'm so mad that I forgot to call you the Yo-Yo King. I apologize. I hope for your mercy for me disrespecting you in this way. I will not let it happen again.
Yeah, well, I am a generous god.
Okay. Also joining us tonight, of course, is the Fortnite father, or I don't know, the fucking Valorant guy now, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing?
Todd.
And rounding us
You
out.
got it this time.
Yeah, the one time. Rounding us out, as always, the Disney daddy himself, Mr. Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing?
I am here.
We love to hear it, love to see it. We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about our current mid-year game of the year. We're going to go into the Nintendo Direct and all other sorts of stuff. But before we do that, a couple of quick housekeeping things. The PTC Movie Club for June, I had to look at what month it was because I don't know, time is fucking irrelevant at this point, is Mike's pick, correct? I know what movie it is, but it's Mike's, right?
Yeah, it is my pick.
Mike's pick for the month of June is Godzilla -1. So if you want to hear us chat about Godzilla -1 at the end of June, make sure you watch that film. It is over now on Netflix, or you can get it in other various ways. But it's on Netflix now, which is how I watched it. So anyways, you can tune into us chatting about Godzilla -1 at the end of this month, which should be, I think, next week if calendars are not lying to my face. So make sure you have watched that if you want to hear us chat about what that may be. Other quick housekeeping things. I've been on a bunch of little things and big things here and there on SGF stuff. Obviously, our last 2 episodes of the podcast, if you are not caught up, is me with friends of the show, guests Kenneth Shepard and Eric Van Allen, talking about stuff that we had a chance to play and see at Summer Game Fest. So if you want our impressions on things that we actually got to play or see, you can listen to that episode. And the episode prior to that is us chatting about all of the showcases around Summer Game Fest, including the Yacht Club Games Presents. So if you want to hear some of our thoughts on SGF, both in and out of the show, you can check out those last 2 episodes. I was also a guest on Axe of the Blood God. I don't know if that episode is live yet, but one of their more recent episodes will have me on there chatting about some more RPG-centric Summer Game Fest things that I had a chance to play and see. And I think I'll also, I don't know when this will air, but Eric over at Axe of the Blood God filmed a travelogue while he was there. Really cool. I'm kind of jealous of not jealous of the idea. It's a really cool idea. I may do something similar next year if we make the trek out there, where he just kind of stopped and chatted with a whole bunch of folks while we were out over at Playdays at Summer Game Fest, chatting about a myriad of things about there, and they had some listener questions. A really cool format. I really like it. I hope the episode comes out well done, because it was a cool thing to take part in. So you can catch me over some segments on that. A quick little thing on Metaphor Refantasio over on Spawn on Me, and I feel like somewhere else I might pop up on something for SGF related things, but You can check out all those things, all those different people, support those other programs. They're all great friends to us, and we appreciate them including us in the things that they do. I think that might be it. I mean, I'll just say this episode of the Pass the Control podcast is sponsored by Pass the Controller. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, and you want to support the show, the easiest way to do that, the best way to do that is to follow us on social media. Make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you listen to it, and leave us a quick 5-star review. It's super beneficial. It helps us grow the show. It helps us grow our audience. It helps more lovely people like you find the show. So if you haven't subscribed to the show and you haven't left us a 5-star review, please go do that. And if you're an audio only listener, just a quick friendly reminder that we do record the show live every week on Twitch at twitch.tv/passcontroller. And if you can't catch the live show, no worries, just search Pass the Controller podcast on YouTube, because we add the VOD over there later at some point so you can watch it if you can't catch it live. So plenty of ways to watch or listen to the show. We appreciate the ones that already do. We appreciate you even more if you can leave us a review. Rolling right into it. Before we get into those topics, anyone have stuff they've been playing or watching currently that they want to throw out into the mix? Mike, any new animes hitting the old, or just any things that you want to talk about?
Well, I think right now I'm only really watching The Acolyte and The Boys.
How are you feeling about those?
Boys is still good. I'm gonna.
You watched the most recent episode?
Yes.
I've only watched the first 3. I haven't seen the other one yet.
Yes, I watched the most recent one today. I'm still enjoying it. It's one of those things now where
This is The Acolyte or The Boys? I'm sorry.
The Boys.
Okay.
The Boys, where, I think this is a problem with a lot of shows where they have to break it down to, an A plot, a B plot, and like a C plot. And typically the C plots are really just like not great. So I don't really care about the stuff that's going on with Frenchie. And,
Yeah, same.
Frenchie's stuff is kind of whack, and even Kimiko's stuff is okay. I think that might be linked.
Or whatever. Yeah.
But the rest of it's still pretty good. Acolyte, I don't have any strong problems with. People are complaining about not a lot of weird things, but they are complaining about the show for their reasons, and I don't feel as strongly about it as they do. Like it might not be a great show, but the problems they have, I feel like they're reading into it too much. Maybe, I don't know.
I heard a problem from the last one that is canon problem.
So I know what problem you're talking about from the most recent episode. I haven't watched it yet, but it was one of those things where I saw it addressed on Twitter first outside the context of the show. So I was just very confused about, because it was a very heated thing that, again, came out of the blue to me because I did not watch the episode yet.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this
I haven't watched any of it. I just saw that there's like a canon issue with the most recent episode.
Whenever I see discourse happening around anything Star Wars related, I don't even involve myself because I think there's a lot of bad conversation about stuff that's not an issue. People just being like fucking weirdos or bigots. And then the people that actually don't like the media currently, I mean, I like The Last Jedi, so I don't know. I'm not interested in either end of that argument.
Mike, you talking about the Beldar guy?
Probably.
Yeah.
But
no one caught that. No.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with anything that's been talked about in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
So anyway,
I was referencing Coneheads. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the conversation, but yes, to what Todd's saying.
Yes, he's correct. Yeah.
And then outside of that, let's see. Kaiju number 8 is almost done. Loser Ranger is almost done.
When you say almost done, you're talking about like a current season of
a current season's
anime.
almost done. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I think they're both on like episode 10ish, and I'm pretty sure they both have like 12 episodes a season.
Okay. Well, since we've kind of slipped into Mike's Animinute, everyone's favorite internet anime show, Mike, I will quickly say that I finally started Frieren. I read the first volume, and it's fucking fantastic. And I should have started it sooner. And I'm very much looking forward to spending the next few weeks reading all of it because it is really good.
There you go. I heard the animation's pretty good in the anime.
Yes. Do you know who does the animation on that one?
I don't know. Studio
Okay.
does it.
Yeah, I heard the anime was also good for that. I mean, we're living in like peak both sides of the medium now, because I feel like Delicious in Dungeon, fantastic on both sides. I've heard the same thing with Freerin. I'm just gonna with no knowledge, and I'm making this claim. Would you feel this way about like JJK and other things that you're currently doing back and forth? I would say it about Chainsaw Man. I think Chainsaw Man's fantastic on both ends.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that there are certain studios out there that are just cranking out bangers, and Mappa is one of them.
Yeah.
Granted, there's a whole bunch of other shit going on with Mappa that isn't as great, just in terms of how they treat their workers and what have you. But the anime does look really good. I know people. It depends on how you feel about certain manga, like artwork and stuff. Sometimes you can make the argument again that something like JJK is hard to follow because it's very fight heavy, and some of that stuff like looks cool, but also might be tough to really track the action, and still images and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, I think we've gotten to a point now where a lot of these bigger series, they figured out that, hey, maybe we shouldn't be running these things 52 weeks a year like they've been doing back with earlier series. And they're like, oh yeah, you know what? If we just do it for 12 weeks, take a break, and then we'll come back to it next year, they can do a lot more with the.
I feel like the whole industry's like that now. Like beyond anime, like that's like what everyone's doing now. That's like, and then they want to end it at like 5 seasons, 4 seasons, which is like I think that's perfect.
I don't know if they've all hit that point yet. At least they ending the show. I think a lot of shows like I think everyone's trying to like crank out a show and hope that it's a hit, and then ideally it will run forever. And what ends up happening is that they'll sometimes make a decent show, doesn't hit the numbers that they want, and then they cancel it. I don't know if anyone's really out there trying to make a good 5-season show other than The Boys. The Boys, apparently they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do 5 seasons and then we're out.
I mean, I think there's definitely more, like Barry. I feel like kind of they kind of knew they were working towards a finite number of things.
Yeah,
and
Barry.
Same thing with Ted Lasso. I feel like there are certain, I think, people that are making
shows.
shows
You
that
could have given
are.
me one more season of Ted Lasso.
I mean, I would have taken one more season of Barry too, but I'm not mad at how either of those shows ended. I'm personally, selfishly like, oh man, I wish there was more Ted Lasso or Barry to watch, but it is what it is.
I love how Barry
and I'm just gonna assume that this next season of The Bear, that I think comes back next week, is probably gonna be the last season of The Bear, and they already said they're doing more than next season. I mean, I'm not mad about it, but I can't see that show going on for a long.
I mean,
I can't.
I don't think it should have gone crazy long, but like I think they got renewed for like 2 more seasons or something like that. I don't know.
Wow.
Could be wrong.
I mean,
How do you feel about them dropping all the episodes at once?
Did they not do that previously? I thought they did.
I have no idea. I don't watch The Bear.
I think they did that with the last season. The Bear's fantastic. I think The Bear might be the best show on modern TV, in my opinion.
Yeah. Ever since Ted Lasso ended, I think The Bear's.
I love Ted Lasso. I'm fucking Ted Lasso stan number 1. I think The Bear potentially better. They're doing different things.
Just
they're doing
different. Yeah, I was gonna
things.
say different. Like I don't even think it's weird that like when all the award season comes out, The Bear is on the comedy, and like don't get me wrong, The Bear has funny things in it, but like that show is not.
So I did a little like, and I had some conversation with people who like are more invested in that world of things, especially like on the award side of things, and like they purposely put those shows in that way so that they can they can win something. If not, they would just always lose to Succession. So like, they purposely like put those actors and put the show in those categories so that they can actually.
There's always that one show. It was like Breaking Bad, Sopranos. Like every show like dominates.
I don't know Succession spoilers, and I'm not trying to find them out. I think I will try to rewatch the show at some point. I watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons. It's real slow.
What's your hot take?
It's just real slow. There's just a lot of like when it's fucking good, it's fucking good. but it takes, I feel like, a lot to kind of. Maybe that's not even it. Actually, maybe let me take that back. It's just like.
Maybe you don't like the characters because
No, I do like the characters. Like Kieran Culkin's fantastic. The sister, I forget the actress's name. She's great. I mean, people love Jeremy Strong. I mean, the cast is good. Like it's fucking Cousin Greg is fantastic. It's just a lot to because I think they're 45-minute episodes. Like I think they're like what's HBO like what's a HBO episode?
Like an hour, basically.
Like hour 45.
Yeah.
So they're long and like it's a lot of just like. Rich business people talking in a fucking room, and like some of those scenes are fucking phenomenal, and sometimes it's just like, all right, give me a little laugh, give me a little something right now. So I should get back to it at some point.
It's just too long for Brenden. That's what it boils down to.
Oh yeah,
that's not what it is.
I can see that.
I do think hour episode TV shows are harder to get through because I usually try to watch these shows with Amanda, and we're on opposite schedules, or like. It's in like an hour episode. By the time like the kids are asleep, it's like 9 o'clock. I watch an episode and I'm falling asleep by the end of the episode, not by choice, but just like from I'm old. All right, guys.
I'll give it another shot at some point. I'll pick it back up and see if I can get through because I would like to see. I mean, people say it's the current Breaking Bad. It's the current fucking Sopranos. Like it's the show that fucking took the world by storm.
There's 2 shows I need to watch that like I feel like I don't think any of us have watched.
I actually want to really watch fucking the Stephen Yeun show Beef.
Yeah, I want to see that too. But 6 Feet Under, have any of us watched that? I heard that show is like supposed to be amazing. And then the one where half of the people die, The Leftovers. I heard both of those shows are incredible. It happens in the first episode.
I'm actually going to get back into The Walking Dead. I got to catch up. I'm really far behind.
You got a few different shows to
watch.
Yeah.
Are they still making spin-offs? We probably talked about this at some point.
Yes, and it's
is it
wild
still popular?
I don't know.
I think The Walking Dead is over. I think it's
The Walking Dead is over.
But like some of those characters,
Rick and
are like
show.
in these other shows, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them is like the Book of Daryl.
Honestly, though, the Walking Dead is like Law and Order SVU at this point. You can just keep on cranking out shows, and people are going to show up. Like,
but are they like? That's what I'm actually curious by. Like, are these shows actually still doing well? Because I feel like when Fear the Walking Dead started, I feel like it was not doing well.
I think it was doing well at the beginning.
We used to know, like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I think it started off popular because that was like the first of the Walking Dead spinoffs.
That was the first one. Yes. That was when I was still. That was when I was still watching Walking Dead.
I think it had people interested at the beginning, but I don't know if it kept up. I feel like that show ended a lot sooner than they wanted it to, but I could be wrong about that. I wasn't following it that hard.
How many seasons did Low Winter Sun get? I feel like we should do a Pass the Controller watch along.
We could do that. I think that was a one and done.
It's definitely a one and done. There's no way there's a second season of Low Winter Sun. Who was the main actor in that? I forget. Is the guy that plays fucking MODOK?
Oh, I think Mark Strong was in. I don't know if Chris Stoll was in it. Chris Stoll might be in it. He's an actor that I would not follow, but I'm pretty sure the guy that plays Gale from Breaking Bad was on it.
Yes,
and I think Strong.
That's why they did that big promotion.
Yeah, I think Mark Strong. And was Forrest Whitaker there? I'm gonna look it up.
All I can remember from the ads that they shoved down our face.
Lenny James. Lenny James. Yep, he's I forget what his name is on Walking Dead. Morgan.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was right about Mark Strong. Okay, go fix.
That's all I see though.
Mike, do you know anything about Freyrin or no?
I think I know the basic premise of the show.
Okay,
the basic premise of the series.
I was going to give you the premise that was set up in Volume 1 because I do think it's actually like a pretty interesting idea. Like the full name of it being Freyrin Beyond Journey's End. Yeah, Beyond Journey's End. And the way that it starts off, I was like, I am very curious what this story is going to be about because it starts off at the
with
end
them
of the journey.
defeating,
Yes.
them beating like the big bad or whatever.
And like for a volume 1, I think it does a really good job of kind of planting the story, giving all of the early main characters, especially Frieren, like a good baseline of like what this character is, what their motivations are, and what is probably going to be like the hook of this story. And I feel like sometimes, early chapters, volume 1s that I've read of certain things haven't like fucking laid a good argument for why I should keep reading, and I think Frieren does a really good job of it.
There you go. Yeah, it was one of the hyped up series of the season.
Yeah.
Every time you say that name, I keep on thinking of Dune. Like you're talking about like the fucking sand people.
Oh,
What
the
are they called?
Fremen.
Yeah,
Fremen.
Fremen. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Dune. Sorry, can't help you there. Cool. Todd, what have you been playing? Anything?
We've been fucking going back to basics gaming, man. Valorant.
Todd is, now that Valorant is on console, I've been playing it with Todd, and this is neither one of you. First of all, you both should download Valorant, but also neither one of you should download Valorant because last night,
that's what we did.
Last night was the most Overwatch ass fucking night of my life, where I had other things I planned on doing that I'll talk about in a few minutes after Todd and Dom go, where I was going to play something else. I had my night fucking planned. I was like, this is what I'm going to do tonight. Todd texts me, Valorant ? And
I haven't done that. When's the last time I texted you for a game?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's like that. This is 2017 OW ? And
right.
I looked at my phone and I was like, yeah, I could squeeze in a match, because also a match of Valorant is like 40 fucking minutes.
It's so funny you say this, so I'm glad you're bringing this up, because like, go on, because I know where you're going with this, but like I was not expecting it to go the way it was.
Oh, I knew it was gonna go that way. I thought I
didn't.
had the fucking willpower, but instead
I was ready for Elden Ring. I was like,
Todd was playing Elden Ring, and I texted him back, and I was like, yeah, I'll play one match, and then I got to do this. We hop on. We play one match, and I was like, all right, that one felt good. Like, I'll do another one if you want. He's like, yeah, let's go. It's like 6 matches later. It was like almost fucking midnight.
And these are like 20-minute matches?
No, they're like 45-minute matches, easily. Like, I actually didn't look at the clock, but they feel like 30 to 40 minutes.
Unless we're getting spanked, but like, yeah.
No, but even if you're getting spanked, you have to win 13 rounds to win.
Yeah.
So it's like, it is a long game. Even if you get rolled, like 13 rounds still takes a long fucking time. It feels good to be back, though.
I was just gonna say it feels great on console. This is like, I haven't had a multiplayer game minus multiverses, because I'm still enjoying that game for what it is, but like it's completely different. But this game is like, I've needed something like this. I've been kind of lost for like the last year and a half, or the last 3 years without Overwatch, and I'm kind of like trying to fill the void.
This is absolutely going to be Todd's next Overwatch, and I am pleading with Todd so far every day to never go into ranked, because ranked Valorant is going to be the most toxic thing besides like playing probably like League of Legends ranked or something. Like, you do not.
I think half the battle is like finally learning maps, though, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I know how to approach this map.
Yeah,
like,
but there's still no
like,
reason to ever touch ranked. I promise you. I promise you.
I still don't even know what like half of the alts do. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, I haven't. I'm like,
Todd and I were
you
playing.
Should just dip your toes in. Just dip your toes in ranked.
I was fucking with Brenden last night. I'm like, dude, this do want to make match, and I like thought he was gonna go in for a second. I'm like, no, don't go in. But it's like, yeah, do want.
It's so, again, we're just playing unrated. It's a fucking brand new beta on console.
Feels super competitive though. Like that,
and that's the thing. It's like, yes, it's in a good way. It's like people are playing to win. It's not fucking, yeah, exactly. Like it is people taking it seriously to the point of, I could hear people talking even though Todd and I were in a private party, and there was one match where I was like in second place on the leaderboard, and the person below me on the leaderboard, they might have been 2 spots below me, was like flipping the fuck out every time like me or Todd died, mostly me. And I'm saying to Todd, I'm like, I don't understand what this guy's crying about. I am consistently the last person alive, and I am above them on the leaderboard. I don't understand what they're so mad about. They sent me, had to have been 20 party invites because they wanted to yell at me. And then we're just sending me messages like, quit, turn the game off, like all this stuff. When that match was all over,
a single message though.
I know. I don't know how Todd was probably that match on the bottom of the leaderboard.
Easily.
Did we win that match? I don't remember. I don't think so.
We might have. No, I don't think so. It was close. I think it was back and forth.
Oh wait, no. I think that was the one we won because we won that one, and I was the MVP of the match. I was on top of the leaderboard. That person turned their game off, and because I then looked at their profile and they switched to play fucking Rainbow Six. Like they were that fucking mad. I'm like, what is this world? I don't want to interact with these people. And then we went into another match, and another similar thing happened. This dude, I had to mute the whole thing. I was like, I don't want to hear any of this shit. The guy was like swearing up and down, like all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I fucking went off in the match, and I was the top person on the leaderboard, and I was getting so many fucking kills. And then I was like, all right, let me unmute because I want to see if they're still talking shit about me. And it was silent for round after round after round until like the last few rounds. All of a sudden, then they started, because Todd was low on the leaderboard. They were like, Tony by Nation, what the fuck? Like, we were yelling at fucking Groom, and then all of a sudden he started doing well. Now it's your fucking turn to do it. Like they were taking ownership of the fact that I was winning the game for them. Like, fucking clowns. Anyways, so don't be toxic online. There's no fucking point.
Listen, competitive, I could get some toxic blood in me, but like quick play, shit like that, I never took that. Like, I
don't understand if that's how you're getting. If you're getting that amped up over what that is, like, I'm sorry, you need to take a break. You need to turn the game off, get some fresh air. Like, whoa. It's a beta. Also, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just we're playing a fucking game for fun. What are we doing here? Otherwise, I'm loving it. I'm happy that Overwatch, that Valorant is available for more people to play, because I think Valorant's a fantastic game. I think that Valorant could really, like, it is already pretty popular on PC and like in their competitive league scene. I think them opening it up to console players, I think this could really blow up into something real big for them. So, and I like Valorant a lot. I think it's a fun game. So, jokes aside, I do think that you should both download it because we can all play together and be a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you, Dom? You playing anything?
I beat South Park Snow Day.
Oh, you beat it?
I beat it.
How short is it? Short?
We were talking about the final boss.
I guess I don't know. I was also kind of zoned out.
It's a short game.
Is there like anything worth redeeming about it, or?
I mean, it's like South Park humor. There's some funny stuff in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could have been a better game.
Yeah.
I expected more from them after playing their first two in that series.
Oh,
it is a continuation of
the two RPGs.
Correct.
Wow.
You are still New Kid.
Interesting. That is disappointing. I mean, it's not maybe the same studio. I think this one's THQ maybe, because Obsidian made the RPGs.
Yeah, I can't remember who made this one.
Oh, well, that's things to see.
I also beat Rise of the Ronin. I don't think I talked about that on the podcast.
Probably not, because we were doing showcase stuff last week. So what are your thoughts on that?
That game has a lot. It's very in depth. Like almost to the point where like I kind of want to go back and play it again. They let you download. There's like a create a character, and they let you download like other people's creations essentially. Like you can input like creator codes. So I played the game as Sephiroth.
Oh,
that's
nice.
fun.
But yeah, there's a lot of fun.
If you finished it though, you had to enjoy it, kind of, right?
Yeah. It's not like super long. Like it's. I mean, I suppose you could make it like as long as you want. Like there's still a ton of stuff that I could do in the game.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of don't know what this game is off the top of my head. What is this game?
It was the one made from Ninja Theory. With Ninja Theory, no. Am I thinking? No.
Team Ninja.
Team Ninja. Yes.
Okay. Is it just? Is it like a just action game, like a Bayonetta / like Devil May Cry type of game?
No, it's an RPG. Like you collect like
It's like Dark Soulsy,
weapons
but
and-
like with
yeah.
like Ghost of Tsushima kind of.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Like a lot of side stuff, pretty good story, and a story that like your answers to certain characters and your relationships with certain characters change the story as you go.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So like you could be pro shogunate or like anti shogunate, and like it like changes the story, like changes like the history of the time, and like obviously at the end it gets to the same point, but like
yeah, that's
you
still pretty
see-
cool though.
you see it from a different perspective.
Yeah, and like you said, there's a lot of going on, so that kind of adds into the replayability. I would imagine if you wanted to see other
Yeah, you
like,
could play.
viewpoints.
You could theoretically play. Yeah, you could theoretically play the whole game again, and like if you change a couple answers here and there, like the game is a different game.
Is the ending always the same though? Do you know that or no?
I believe that the ending. I believe that the ending can be seen from two different like points of view almost.
Okay.
I don't like want to spoil it, but like
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
I'll have to watch a video, like
Yeah.
gameplay video, because I like. This is a PlayStation exclusive, right?
Yes.
Then it had to have been in the last state of play or something, or a recent state of play. I feel like I just don't. I like can't picture this game in my
Probably
head.
3 months ago. There was a bunch of stuff on it. When
Yeah,
it was like,
I'll have to watch a video on it and see
It
if,
came out-
if it's my jam.
It came out in the middle of a bunch of games.
Yeah.
yeah.
I also beat Zao, which I don't think I talked about.
Oh
on the
shit!
podcast.
No, definitely talk about
And
that.
I really enjoyed that.
I downloaded it because it's
It
on
had a-
PS whatever PlayStation.
It's
Plus.
on PS Plus. It's a it has like a very like Prince of Persia feel to it. Loved the story, like really good story. The art style at first, like I don't know. At first I was like taken aback by it. Like I didn't know how to feel, and then I like it really grew on me as I played the game. Not super long, but like a really good story.
Yeah, it's on my list. I try to get to that soon because I've heard nothing but good things, and now you're saying you're loving it too. So I need to really bump up that on my priority list.
Go back to Elden Ring. Go to Elden Ring. Get
I
in
don't
there.
know. So especially knowing that the Elden Ring DLC is long, I don't know where I stand on the Elden Ring DLC, to be honest. I don't know if that's something for me now or
I just want to
never.
say this. Like, I jumped back in the Elden Ring like a few weeks ago, like getting ready for this, and I fucking, typical my fashion, waited till the day before to beat the fucking boss to get the DLC. And I beat a couple bosses last night, but like once you start rolling in that game again, that game is just fucking insane because you can just get lost so easy. And I'm like doing 7 different quests right now to get armors and amulets, and I'm like, wait, am I going to play the DLC? I bought the DLC, I still haven't even touched it yet. I feel like I'm still low rank. I'm like 140, and like there were people saying they were like level 700 that could barely get through the first part.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh great.
I mean, I love Elden Ring. I think that Mike would probably hate it and should probably never play
Yeah,
it.
100%.
But I do think Dom would enjoy it. I think you should play it at
That's
some point,
one game
Dom.
we can agree with on Mike and be like, Mike, yeah, you don't need to play this game.
Oh,
But I will say,
there's tons of games that I think very easily, confidently say Mike shouldn't play, but Elden Ring is definitely one of them.
I will say this: if I'm pretty close to the end of the game itself.
Which,
of
by the way,
DLC.
now Mike's gonna fucking play Elden Ring because we're telling him not to play.
Yeah, because it's not so exactly. But I'm close to the end of the game. But I'm actually like, I enjoy these games, but you have to put a lot of time into them. You can't play anything else while you're playing these games. You're just gonna fucking like adapt and survive. But I'm like, do I go back and play like all the Dark Souls games now? And like, is that gonna? Do I try to beat Sekiro? Because like these games are starting to click with me, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, what did I finish that made me? I mean, when I played Rebirth earlier this year, like it immediately made me go, I'm gonna play another Final Fantasy game because that's where my head's at, and now I'm slowly playing through 10. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've heard a lot of good things about the Elden Ring DLC, so I'm sure at some point I will take the plunge and play it. But speaking of DLC, I know Todd has also finished it. Have either of you played the Alan Wake DLC yet, Night Springs?
I still haven't gotten into it.
It's super quick. I beat it last night. That's what my night was supposed to be before Todd ruined it with Valorant. I still stayed up and beat it because I want to say like probably hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to beat it.
All three.
All three. Yeah. It's not long.
Oh, really?
The first one's probably the longest one out of all.
Yeah,
of them. It's not even
the
that
other two are pretty short. I won't spoil anything. I won't really get into any specifics about it. I mean, if you're a fan of this Remedy universe, I think you'll probably enjoy it. I still have, I don't want to say I have issues with it because I did enjoy my time with it, but it's definitely like, I don't even want to say like I could do without it because I think it does some fun things and I think there's some cool things there, but it really just makes me want like another full Remedy game, like not necessarily Alan Wake 3. It just made me want the next Remedy game, whatever that may be. And I know we're getting another DLC for Alan Wake 2 at some point as well. But if you're
this
really...
made me...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say,
No,
if you're
go
really itching for more Alan Wake or more Remedy, and you've played other Remedy games or you've played them all, you know, it's the next step in getting more of that story and more of that world.
It's basically American Nightmare because like you had so much ammo in that game that like it's basically like that version of that. In
Yeah,
some
I
ways.
mean the gameplay I think is like it. You're really just there to get like this additional story stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can turn the difficulty up and make it a challenging experience if that's what you want. But I actually did the opposite. I turned it to story mode because I just wanted to see what they were showing.
It was easy.
It wasn't difficult, but it was when I got to the second part and I had died like once from the enemies. I was like, it's late. I really just want to see what the story's telling. Like, I don't need a challenge. I'm not trying to be fucking gameplay challenged right now with these stupid fucking enemies that from Alan Wake 2, the ones that are like you have to shine the light to break them and turn them into like actual fucking enemies. Like I don't need a million of these chasing me. I just want to get through this fucking thing.
This game gave me a new final girl though. Like I got like a new favorite final girl basically from this game.
Who, Alice?
The waitress. I forget her name in the game, but yeah, she's great. It's just she's like it's gonna be like, oh, I got a new because I love those final girls like the Sydney Prescotts, the fucking all.
I am actually curious once all four of us have played it, because Todd made a big thing about saying, oh, the first part's the best part, play the first part last, which now that I've played it, I would recommend play them in order because I think they slightly build on each other.
No, they do.
But I think I like the third part the best. I think I like the third section of it the best. So I'm curious to see if either of you have like strong favorites out of the three little sections of it. I actually think I like them in reverse order. I think I like them 3, 2, 1 the best. But 2 is heavily because I like who's the protagonist from Control? Jessica.
Yeah,
Jesse.
I like that character.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know you were playing as her because I didn't watch any like trailer stuff on this. So I was like, oh fuck yes. I was like, tell me I get to do some shit. Like just like tell me.
yeah. Actually, yeah. Maybe I like a 3, 1, 2 the best. I just like Control character. I like Control. So
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I've been playing that, and then I've been very slowly playing through Paper Mario still. I probably haven't made much progress since last time we talked about it, so I don't need to get into more.
Oh, you're going to play it on the plane?
That was the plan. The plane ride there was... Did we not talk about this at all?
I don't think so.
I don't think we talked about it on the podcast.
Probably not.
I could be wrong.
I don't know what to do with this picture, but I do, and I don't know if this got talked about on the podcast. It definitely got talked about at some point. But Mike watched The Beekeeper again on the plane,
yes.
And I took a fucking picture of him doing it to prove that Mike watched willingly The Beekeeper again, because there were not an insignificant amount of good movies to watch. Like there were good movies
that
to watch.
movie has like super high
picked-
reviews though, critic and audience.
I'm
Like,
not
that
saying it's a
movie's
bad
pretty
film.
good.
I just think it's
I'm
funny
just
that
saying,
Mike
though, like-
chose to watch The Beekeeper again. He
I
immediately
didn't
fell
watch
asleep.
The Beekeeper. I picked The Beekeeper, and then I was like, haha, I'm gonna pick The Beekeeper, and then immediately tried to fall asleep, and I
You
fell
succeeded.
asleep, and I woke up. The movie was just not there anymore. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I didn't know if it finished playing or what. I was like, oh, I got time to kill again.
On the plane ride there, because our flight was delayed so much, and Mike and I decided to drink like 4 drinks in the fucking airport. When we got on the plane, and me being who I am in a post-COVID world, I was already just like extremely anxious and whatever. I was like, all right, I'm going to play fucking Paper Mario. This is going to get me through the flight. I can put 6 hours straight into this game. I'll be good to go. Probably got a good hour, maybe hour and a half out of it. It was extremely hot on the plane.
Bro, I can't enjoy anything on a plane.
It-
Like, you can tell me
everything-
video games, and I can't do it.
Everything about it was so miserable for me.
Yeah,
Mike was
that's how I-
asleep, and I was in the middle seat. Person on my right was
Mike's-
asleep,
yeah,
and I'm just like, I can't fucking do anything. I put my Switch away. I'm like, let me try to like listen to music or fucking, a podcast or something. I do that, and I try to like get comfy and like, just put my head back. One of my fucking AirPods fell out of my ear and went behind my seat. So now it's, again, like, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning. Probably most of the people on the plane are asleep. I look over, person behind Mike is asleep. I look over my other shoulder, person behind that guy's asleep. And I'm like, please tell me the person behind me is awake still. And I like,
who are these psychos that can sleep on a plane? Because I wish I could do that. I would kill for that.
I
don't know if I don't think I mean, apparently I pulled it off, but I feel as though I was awake a lot. Like a lot of times I would wake up and
that's what I'm talking about. I would just wake up I'll wake up like every 15 to 20 minutes when I'm sleeping on a plane and be like, where am I?
Mike,
you're like, okay, I'm good.
I think Mike had the best seat for sleeping. I feel like if you're on the window side, you can like kind of get in the corner and get like comfier.
Yeah.
The guy behind Mike on the plane was like a pro at sleeping. He had a blanket, a fucking neck pillow, and fucking sleep mask on. I was like, this guy does not want to be woken up. This guy wants to sleep through the 6 hours. Thankfully, the person behind me was still awake, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, they are a stranger. I am a stranger. I am in a mask. It is 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how to like approach this person by like peering over the seat. Like, hey, the thing that was in my ear is at your feet somewhere. Maybe can you find it? So I was like debating if I even just wait till the plane lands and like just deal with it after.
No way.
So I wrote a note on my phone and I like peeked my eyes over and tried to get their attention. I just held up my phone and it was like a very nice note. It was like, hey, my headphone fell behind the seat. If you see it and want to get it, amazing. If you don't want to touch it, also understand. Like, or if you don't even want to look for it, like, no worries. And she just looked at me, gave me a thumbs up, and a second later, she like handed it to me, and I was like, oh, awesome, amazing. And now I was like nervous to have my fucking headphones in for the rest of the plane because if they fucking fell out again, like, what the fuck? Anyways, I don't know. I hate the plane. I didn't play Paper Mario on the plane. I barely played it. And then on the plane ride home, I don't know. I put on a podcast. I listened to 2 very long podcasts, and that was.
Was that when you were like raving about Joe Rogan to me? When you were like, dude,
get the fuck out of here, you fucking clown.
No, he reached over the person in the aisle seat because I sat in the window and he sat. He sat the aisle. There was someone in the middle seat. He would reach over and be like, "Yo, this Rogan guy is pretty good."
Get the fuck out of here with
Brendan,
this shit.
I'm trying to fall asleep, man.
Get the fuck out of here with this
Maybe
shit.
I'm trying to watch The Beekeeper a third time.
So
you should hear what Aaron Rodgers has to say about
yikes.
this.
on the ride there, Mike got the window and I got the middle. And on the ride back, I said to Mike, I was like, if you want the window again, that's fine. But like, I can't do middle back to back. I'm going to pick the aisle seat. And at that point, when we booked our tickets, there was nobody sitting between us. And in my head, I was like, who's going to really pick that one seat in the middle? Like, who's going to pick that seat? And I don't think our flight was full either way.
I don't know.
And lo and behold, someone did pick that middle seat, and they had to ride in between us. Anyways, I feel like I'm playing something else. I don't know. Shout out to New York Times app. I pay for the New York Times subscription specifically to play the crossword puzzle and play Connections, and tangentially play Wordle. I didn't do it for Wordle, but Connections is a fun time. I'm a big fan. And if you really want to feel stupid, try to do the New York Times crossword puzzle. You'll quickly realize how unintelligent you are.
What's you? But how much is that app?
I think it's only a couple of bucks. I actually don't even know if it gives you access to the New York Times like online, like website, like articles and stuff. I just specifically wanted to be able to play the crossword puzzles. Like it basically gives you crossword puzzles, Connections, Wordle, and there's like 3 or 4 other games in there. There's a spelling bee game. There's
What is
I don't know.
Connections?
Connections is basically it gives you I don't know, like 16, I think, 16 different words. And out of those 16 words, it's like a one puzzle per day for this one. So it's like out of those 16 words, you have to find out how to make 4 groups of 4 out of them. So like I'll just actually did we do today's yet? I don't want to spoil it if we did.
Don't piss Jen off right now.
We
Don't
do it every night. We do it every fucking night. Let me see if we did it. Okay, so we won't solve it or do anything here, but like, so here, I'll open it up. So you open it up and it's like create 4 groups of 4, and I'll just read some of the words. Cinderella, tailgate, green light, Rumpelstiltskin, Ferris wheel, bumper to bumper, like thumbs up, clearance, roller coaster, underdog. And out of all of these words, that's not all the words, but out of all those words, you have to figure out what the connecting tissue is and make 4 different groups of 4. And sometimes they're, things that start with go, and it will be like cart, blah, 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 whatever, stuff like that. But sometimes it'll be like more obtuse things, and figuring them out is sometimes when you finally get there, you're like, who the fuck's going to figure that out? But you can get there sometimes. We're on a streak. We haven't lost in a while, and I just jinxed us. So congratulations. Anyways, moving on. We are at the middle point of the year. We don't have to talk too long about this, but I kind of wanted to do a quick temperature check for the middle of the year, where everyone's kind of at with their favorite thing or things from 2024. And I'm saying it that way because Mike doesn't play a lot of games, so movies, anime, manga, whatever, TV, whatever it may be, stuff that came out in calendar year this year. I still think I'll just go first, so if anyone needs to kind of drum up their thoughts, they can. I think for me, I'm still sitting pretty strong that where the fuck is my notes for games I've played this year? I still think I'm sitting pretty strong that Balatro is, I think, still my favorite game I've played this year. I mean, not to say that it's like streets ahead of some of the other games, but yeah, Todd, streets ahead. I'm bringing it back. I really enjoyed Rebirth. I enjoyed Yakuza, not Like a Dragon. Yakuza. The fuck is the new game called?
I think Like a Dragon.
Infinite Wealth. Oh, yeah, it is called it's not Yakuza anymore. It's Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I enjoyed those. I really like Unicorn Overlord, Pepper Grinder, Another Crab's Treasure, Animal Well. I mean, I liked Senua's Saga, so I know that's not a super popular opinion, but I enjoyed my time with it.
It's up there for me.
But yeah, I think Balatro is still sitting pretty as my top dog.
I just downloaded the New York Times app just to see this Connections game, and I'm done already. No errors.
Yeah, I mean,
This is the easiest game I've ever played.
Sometimes it is not that easy. Oh, maybe it's only the crossword costs money then? Can you click on the crossword?
Yeah.
Huh.
You're getting hosed.
You're just paying the New York Times money for nothing.
Did the app cost you money to download?
I don't think so. I already had it downloaded at some point.
New York Times has sent you.
I would double check your subscriptions. You might be paying like I think it's like $2 a month. Like, it's not a lot of money, but I would double check your subscriptions, because then you might just be paying for it. Sometimes there are some fucking head scratchers in the mix with it. I'll let you know after we do it tonight if we had any errors. What about you guys? What are your current kind of top dogs for the year?
Let's see. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. According to Brenden, my movie of the year is The Beekeeper. So I guess that's it.
Is it the movie? Is it the movie you've watched the most this year?
He's watched it at least twice.
I've
or
watched
started it twice.
I've watched it at least once, and have seen another 15 minutes of it and then fell asleep.
It is the movie that Mike has pressed play on the most this year.
There you go. I like it.
Yes. I mean, just to balance things out, I guess I need to press play on Madam Web later, just so I can have those two.
Oh,
it
you
didn't
watched
come out
that
this
at
year,
least
though.
twice, right?
It did come out this year.
It did?
It came out February 14th
Oh,
of this
shit.
year.
You've
I didn't know
watched
it was
that
a
at least
Pisces.
twice, haven't you? You've watched that at least twice, haven't you? Didn't you watch
I
it
have
when
not.
it came out on
I didn't.
Netflix?
I
I thought you did for some reason.
Because I said it as a joke, and I guess
Oh.
I'm at the point now where if I say it as a joke, you guys just think
I definitely thought
I
it was
did it.
real.
Yeah, I also thought it was real. I have not finished it yet. I don't know if I ever will. But I'm probably at least halfway through. The last time that Mike was over, we had a very long, drunken conversation about Madam Web. Madam Web might actually be Mike's favorite movie of all time. I've never seen Mike so happy to talk about Madam Web.
I think it's like a very like what's it called? The Room kind of movie where people are
I
gonna be
don't
like,
think so.
let's watch. No,
I don't think
100%.
it
It
has
is-
that same type of cult.
It is
Like, it's not Morbius.
So
No, I'm saying
Fundam-
no. Morbius is not. Morbius is like a better movie. But
Is
like,
it?
I think Madam. Yes, but like I think Madam Web is gonna be like people are gonna watch that to have a good laugh. Like a
Yeah,
lot.
I thought
Like,
that's
Madam
why people
Web-
watch Morbius.
Huh?
Yeah, but Morbius is cool. But like Morbius is like
Is Morbius cool? Who the fuck is saying this? Is this what
No,
you
no,
are
no,
saying?
no,
These
no,
are
no,
your
no,
thoughts,
no.
Todd. You think Morbius is a better movie and it's cool?
no. So I think Morbius is more put together. If that makes any sense. I
Have
don't
you
think it's a
watched
good
most
movie.
of these movies?
Yes, and I don't think that. Like. I think Morbius tried to be. It's like no one tried in Madam Web. Everyone was like, "Yo."
Oh
we're
no,
just
I
gonna
think
fucking
Madam
do
Web is a
that.
terrible movie from what I watched. I think
But that's why it's so
it
good.
has
It's 'cause
it
it's
has
so
some
bad.
of the craziest fucking plot holes for no reason. Like
Not even that,
manufactured
dialogue is
plot holes that make
fucking
no
insane.
sense.
Dialogue is some of the best dialogue ever because it's so ridiculous. It's like so like when the spoilers when she wakes up blind is probably I've never laughed so hard during a movie during that part like when she's in the hospital and has those fucking goggles on and I was like man is like what do you I'm like I can't even explain this to you. You used to watch this whole movie and she's like I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
Scroll ahead 10 seconds if you don't want me to spoil one insignificant thing in this garbage film. And if any of you care, or I guess Dom is the only person. If you haven't watched it, Dom,
Or not.
You don't need to, but I honestly if you want to laugh, maybe you should pick it for your pick.
I won't even give all the details.
That's an idea.
The girls, the cast, whatever they are, the spider people, they Dakota Johnson's character like takes them with her, and it's reported that they are kidnapped, and within the same day, hours apart from the reported kidnapping, there is a freshly printed newspaper with the front page being these girls kidnapped. Who the fuck? None of that's how anything works. None of that's how any of that works. And not only that, they're somehow in New Jersey. So why would the New Jersey paper have this for these random New York girls? Which also, spoiler, who the fuck is reporting that they're kidnapped? None of them have parents. So who's reporting that they're kidnapped? Because they're all seemingly
You are
homeless in
just
some way.
cementing the
It's
case that, like, this movie's
ridiculous.
amazing. You're
Yeah,
just
this
proving
is
my point.
why I have so many. That's why I had so many things to say about it because it makes so many fundamentally baffling choices at every single narrative turn that I'm just like, how did this movie? Literally, how did this movie get made? Like who?
I see, like that's why I think that like these guys.
That's
were
why
like, let's just-
I needed other
let's
people
just
to
let
watch
this
it. I
ride.
just need to talk about all of these things as a shared experience. Because if I just say it myself, it sounds like a fever dream. But if someone else has seen it, like, yeah, remember how like, yeah, all three of these girls are quote unquote kidnapped, and the police have seen that they've been kidnapped, and I guess they are going to be the ones that say put it out in the newspaper, even though all three of the girls have, if they don't have parents, they are like noticeably neglected by their parental figures, or how for no reason at all Dakota Johnson says like we need to stay off, like we can't be seen by cameras at all. They are not aware specifically that the antagonist has NSA technology to track their faces. This is just something she's at like,
He's
hey,
just as bad as they
I'm gonna
are, so,
leave
like,
you guys in the woods. Or that Dakota Johnson on multiple occasions leave these girls unsupervised to just be like, yeah, I gotta go figure things out. Whether she goes into her apartment to like read books that her mother left her, or to fly to Peru despite the fact that she is a wanted criminal. She's like, I gotta go to Peru, guys, and figure this one out.
Again, also, they're in fucking New York City, and somehow in a matter of like, I don't know, I'll give them an hour. They're in the woods. There is no woods. There's no woods. And then they're also somehow in New Jersey. It just, none of it makes any fucking sense. It really makes no sense. When he is chasing them on the train, why does he choose to not continue chasing them and then decide to fight the police that are also chasing Dakota Johnson? Like, they're doing the work for you. At this point, he doesn't even want Dakota Johnson. He doesn't even know who she is. He only wants the other 3 girls, and he chooses to fight the police that are trying to arrest Dakota Johnson.
Who is his woman in the chair? Who is the woman in the chair that works for him? Why is she working for him?
Wait, what is the person on the train?
Does she have a name?
I don't know.
Is this the right train to like Hoboken or whatever?
Yeah, what does he say though? Like, it's like the best response ever.
She's like, dude, I don't know.
I don't know. Like, it's just like the worst dialogue ever. It's so good.
It seems like she actively doesn't want to be in the movie in every scene. And I don't feel that way about every actor in the movie, but it seems like Dakota Johnson just doesn't want to be in the movie half the time.
I think that every actor needs to fire their agents after that movie because I don't think their agents were upfront. Maybe they got a pretty big payday or something, but like, they're like, you're part of the Marvel world, and then they're like, wait, what? What is this?
You would probably know, Dom. You've worked in this field before.
Okay,
when someone gets into a fucking car accident and they're bleeding and unconscious, what's the first thing you should do? Is it chest compressions?
CPR.
No, you move them. You rip them out of the car as fast as possible. You want to make sure that
She's just pounding his chest with blood everywhere, and she's like, I could have said, like, no, you're just pounding blood out of his chest.
I knew the correct answer to that because I knew that she taught them all CPR, and they just like do CPR a bunch of times in the movie.
I have a question. I have a question for Todd and Dom specifically, because maybe you were around baby showers. Is there a game where all the ladies just sit around guessing baby names? Is that a thing they do? Here's another question. Do you guys all write down on a slip of paper like your favorite memory of your mom to put in a hat so you guys can read them out loud? Here's another question.
Sure people do that,
if you have no happy memories about your mother because as far as you're concerned, she died of childbirth in the Amazon, do you put in a blank piece of paper or do you just not participate?
You just don't participate.
Or just make something up.
I think I would probably get a slip of paper and write, my mother died while she was researching spiders in the Amazon.
Interesting answer. Dakota Johnson chose to put in a blank piece of paper, which was immediately picked up and then people asked, is this a joke? Did you just... And then she goes on to explain like, oh yeah, my mom died during childbirth. I don't think it'll happen to you, Emma Roberts. You'll be fine. She just did it because she went off into Peru while she was 9 months pregnant.
Anyways,
by herself.
We have derailed too much with this. We apparently can do a whole episode on Madam Web at some point. So Dom, you're gonna have to watch it.
Anyway, no, I probably would pick either Furiosa or Dune 2.
Hell yeah. Would I like Mad Max, Mike? Should I watch this?
Yes, 100%. Fury Road. No, watch it. I almost picked it several times, so like, you know. But I think if you like, I know what Mike's thinking, and it's like straight action. But it's like it is
straight action.
It's like practical effects. It's like 10% CGI.
I like practical effects.
How long?
If it's a good movie, I can get down with
2 hours, 2 hours, 10 minutes, maybe. No. I think it's
part of this.
It's more the spectacle and like everything else.
I like the spectacle. Like there was the the mystique around Dune 1 when it came out, and I watched that, and I was like, no, that movie's trash. Is it better than Dune 1?
What? Mad Max?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Okay, and you're both fucking Dune sickos, so that's good news. So
I'll say this:
when Mike and I were at Giant Bomb at night, when we were at their live couch thing, someone that I know from the internet that like saw me there and like recognized me. We talked for a little bit in person. They like asked like, "Oh, have you seen Furiosa yet?" And I was like, oh no, not yet. And I'm like, why did I say no, not yet? Why didn't I just say no? I don't fucking watch movies. I just like I like froze out. I didn't know what to do. And ever since that moment, I'm like, do I need to watch Mad Max? Why did someone ask me that question? Like, what about you looking at me was like, have you seen Mad Max? It's like it's still like.
You know what's crazy
throws me
about
up.
Mad Max 2 is that like there's a whole story behind that production because that production took like way longer than normal, and like fucking Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy did not get along on the set, and then they ended up making this fucking amazing movie. Like they fucking hated each other. Tom Hardy showed up to fucking set late every day, and I guess Charlize is super professional, and like you read all about this, and you're like, this movie should not be as good as it is because of
That's
like
probably why
everything that
Blade
they went.
3 came out so good.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Facts.
Anyways, we are losing the thread.
Maybe I'll pick
continuously.
Blade 3 as my film.
Do it.
Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
Pull a Mission Impossible 7.
Yes.
Don, what about you? Where are you sitting at right now for your favorites of the year?
Rebirth is probably my favorite game.
Okay.
Really,
Todd's gonna have a heart attack.
for real.
Why? What's your favorite game of the year so far?
Probably Balatro, but like I honestly, the games that came out this year, I like last year was an amazing year.
It
for
doesn't
me.
even matter what Todd's favorite game of the year is, though, because I don't even think Rebirth's gonna be in Todd's top 10, which I think is ridiculous.
No.
But
No. But I'm gonna say that the only reason I'm saying the games that came out this year are like very JRPG heavy and like not my thing, which is great for a lot of people. But like this year, like has not been a year. I mean, I was talking about Yakuza, fucking Rebirth, like like Rise of the Ronin's even RPG. It's like a lot of these games are like even Stellar Blades, like Souls, like, and it's like not my thing. I need more like here's the path you're going on, kind of like
so
I
I'm
feel like
I'm gonna rewind the episode about 40 minutes real quick and just.
dude, I love Elden
and,
Ring
yeah.
because that's like something that made me like. But that's something that made me like that. But it's not a kind of style of game I want to play unless
All right,
I'm
let
playing
me
it by
let me
the
jump back
masters.
to like 20 other episodes from the past year and just see how many times you talk about Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah, but that didn't come out this year.
No, I know, but like you're saying you don't
That's
like
what you're
turn-based
talking
RPGs,
about.
yeah.
No, I like that's turn based though. But like I feel like if I'm getting overwhelmed by games this year and they're all like of a genre that I'm like I don't just
Like a Dragon Infinite
like-
Wealth is a turn-based RPG.
yeah, but like they're like dude, like a dragon is like you gotta scroll through dialogue for about like 20 minutes before you can proceed to like the next area, and I'm just like it's not my style. I don't want to sit here and read dialogue the whole time, and it's just
There
like
are
a lot of
voice-acted
like
cutscenes.
no, I'm saying, but there's like a lot of that game that's heavily like you got to read this shit when you're talking to these people. And it's like
I mean,
they have the
Octopath
cutscenes-
Traveler, you have to read everything.
Yeah, but it's not as much. It's like very like minuscule dialogue.
There's a
compared
lot
to,
of
like,
story in
fucking-
that game. We're not playing the same game.
No,
Well, you're just
I
mashing
agree,
through.
but I'm saying no, but you don't have to. It's not like every time someone talks in Octopath, it's like a little teeny box. When someone talks in Yakuza, it's like this fucking big, and I'm like reading it on my screen TV that I can barely read, and I'm like, I can't read anymore. I can't do this. I'm like just fucking talk everywhere. But no, but it's more of like I want action oriented, third persons kind of games. I like a lot of these games aren't my thing. I'm not a big RPG guy. I like some RPGs, but like this year for me has been like it's if you
Final
don't like
Fantasy
RPGs,
VII Rebirth is an action RPG
yeah.
with like
I have way
everything is
more-
voice acting. You don't have to read anything in that game.
No, but that's not the issue with me in that game. I just the game itself is just kind of boring.
Yeah, I'm just picking at you.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm excited to see how the rest of the year shapes up then because
I'm
aside
curious.
from Todd and I having Balatro, which I don't expect Todd's pick to remain Balatro by the end of the year. Mine
don't know what else.
mine might get shaken up a little bit, but with Dom having a Rebirth early, I'm excited.
Yeah,
to have some.
I don't expect Rebirth to be my favorite game by the end of the year. I mean, I would say that like Zhao and I'd have to go back through my games. I feel like Zhao is probably pretty close, like in a close second. Maybe Animal Well is up there too.
Animal is probably in my top 5 right now.
Yeah, see, Animal World, that's like another one. Like, I'm so hit or miss on indies. And I don't think it's a bad game. It's just like didn't suck me in.
I don't think the indie is the thing that's the differentiator there for
Well,
you. I think it's you don't like puzzle games.
It depends. Like,
I mean, you just said
I just-
2 seconds ago that you like to be walked forward, and Animal Well is absolutely zero
Well,
hand
I mean,
holding.
yes and no, because like some of my favorite games are fucking open world games where like it just lets go wherever the fuck you
Yeah.
want.
No,
Kind of thing.
no. You have this thing where it's like, whatever fits the argument for you is what you're gonna say, and it's just gonna change every time we mention a game. That's all.
Oh
It is.
no! But you're like just like no, not at all. But like, but I
I
will
like
say this,
open
I
world,
mean,
open ended
it's hard-
games. Okay, Animal Well. Oh no. I don't like indies.
Think of like what the games are this year that like everyone's kind of talking about. It's Unicorn Overlord. It's Final Fantasy Rebirth. It's like not. It's more niche games than like
Aren't a
games
lot
that
of people
are
talking
buying.
about Unicorn Overlord that way? I mean, that makes me
No,
happy
I'm-
if they are, but
But no, but I throw that in there with fucking Final Fantasy Rebirth because
I
Rebirth
also
did
think
not
it's
sell well.
I also think it's
Like,
funny that he says a lot of people are talking about it and then says they're very niche.
No,
well, I mean,
but like
I
Are
think
a lot
those
of people talking about them, or
everyone,
Yeah.
are they niche?
in-
games?
I think those still
in
can
our
kinda-
bubble in our bubble of
Yeah.
people, everyone talks about those games, but like I don't think anyone else in the general public plays a lot of those games or gives those games a chance. And like I feel like that's what this year's been mostly those kind of games. Because Rebirth did not do well in sales for fucking a game that should be
yeah,
like
but that
a
doesn't
massive
mean that
fucking game.
that doesn't mean that that's what this like it not selling well doesn't mean that that's like we've
no one's
had we've
playing
had
it.
but we've had massive games. Yeah, no one's playing it is also like a weird asterisk. Like it didn't sell well because it's a PS5 exclusive, and PS5 is a
But
extremely
PS5
small.
is like the biggest. It's the biggest fucking console of this generation right now.
Yeah, but it's still
But,
not.
like-
It's still like again, it not being on PS4 means that they're losing. Where the majority of the player base is. Them not putting it on PC or Xbox means that they're locked to a singular, still
I don't
not
think
large
Xbox
player
is
base.
the needle mover though, because like
No, it's not the
games
needle
like-
mover, but it probably would have doubled those sales.
I don't think it would have.
I think it absolutely
the-
would have. How many?
Cause I play like if you like play like this is gonna be a very weird barometer to go by.
Okay,
but, like,
hold
when
on.
you-
As of February
Yeah.
of this year, Series X and S have sold a combined 27.7 million units. Okay, hold on. PS5.
And go look at
sales.
achievements for fucking all the like JRPGs on Xbox and like
That's not
no
a
one
good
has
comparison.
because like if you unlock the first thing, you unlock the first achievement of the game, it wouldn't be a diamond. But 90% of these games that you play that are like JRPGs, you get like the first achievement in the game and it's like diamond achievement because no one's fucking unlocked it. 'Cause no one's fucking playing these
I don't
games.
think that's not a good.
don't know,
I don't
man.
think
I feel
that's
like it,
making
like,
the. I
tells
don't think
you
that's
who's
making
playing
the
it.
point you wanted to make. First of all, I don't know what the metric is. I'm pretty sure if you download a game onto your Xbox, it then puts you in that percentage pool. Like, so if you downloaded a game and even never played it or haven't started it yet, I'm pretty sure it puts you in the percentage. I think, or maybe you have to turn the game on. Regardless, like that's such a weird metric to try to say who is and isn't playing these games on a
like,
platform like
it's-
Xbox because
You're talking about like 1 to 2% who've gotten like an introductory achievement compared to like
again,
35%
I
on
understand, but like,
PlayStation.
name the game that you're saying this for.
Octopath Traveler,
Okay, the first one,
second one. No,
Okay.
like
Switch exclusive, or was it also play? No, it was PlayStation 5 at launch.
PlayStation-
So
PlayStation-
that
yeah,
game has
PlayStation.
already existed for
Yep.
multiple years now on two
but
other
I'm saying
places.
that the Xbox base, that not everyone on Xbox is own like us. Like they don't own both.
No, they're not.
Like-
But I think there are probably a lot of them that are, and like again, I love Octopath.
but I'm
Oh,
saying
what the
like
fuck
the
is the?
Xbox
I'm not
can't
going to
even
download
move,
it again.
but they can't even move the needle on it. Like this is what I'm saying. Like it's like for Xbox.
I this is such a really weird roundabout way to say that these games, like, again, what did I say? 26 million Xbox Ones. How many PS5 sales numbers?
For, like,
How many
40 or
PS5s? Why can't I just see the fucking PS5 as of March this year? 54 million. Okay.
so. Yeah, it's huge. Jesus.
How many copies Rebirth sold? 2.21 million. So 50 million sold 2.21 million. So let's just go off of the same math. For a game that you can't play elsewhere, if they put it on Xbox, Xbox has about half the player base. So let's say it adds another million copies.
Yeah.
That's still like extremely valuable to that. If it's on PC, it probably jumps up to like an additional few million. But I still think that if it came out on Xbox, it would probably sell at least another 2 million because there are people that don't have a PlayStation 5 that have an Xbox. I don't even know why I went down that point, but it not selling well, I don't think means that like it's not a massively big game that people played. I mean, name another game that's a top game this year.
Probably Yakuza, which didn't probably sold the same, you know.
So Unicorn Overload sold 500,000 copies, according to this. So, but you're saying a lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah, I mean,
It
but
sold a
I'm
quarter
like,
of what Rebirth sold.
But I'm also focusing in on like a circle of people that all play the same games, so it's kind of like.
Okay, name another big
You
game
know.
that came out this year.
Do Yakuza. I'm curious on that. I feel like that had to do a couple million, right?
It's probably the best it's sold in the series, maybe at launch, but it was also a Game Pass day one, I think, so that affects the numbers.
Wait, Yakuza 2 is game. I don't think it was Game Pass. So I would have downloaded it if it was.
Maybe it wasn't that. I don't fucking know. I don't know. 1 week after launch, it sold 1 million copies, making it the series' fastest selling to date. I don't have.
So, like, just hear me out. You're talking about Final Fantasy and Yakuza.
Okay.
And Yakuza is like a different style of what it usually is that people haven't completely adjusted to yet. And then you're talking about a generational Final Fantasy. Like, that's. I don't know. I don't think the sales are that good.
Yeah, no, they're not great sales, but again, it's because they're next gen games, and I don't think.
Well, we're in like year 6 of next gen though. Like, if people aren't like adapted to like next gen at this point, then like, because we're about to like 2 more years, maybe 3 more years, we're getting new consoles. So it's like we're way past the point of like where consoles.
I mean,
we're past
Final
the
Fantasy
halfway
VII
point.
Remake didn't sell that well, like comparatively.
Yeah.
For a game that was on a console that is one of the best selling consoles of all time.
That's why I call them niche games, though, in some ways.
That's why this conversation started, because you're calling Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not a niche game. I don't know what to tell you. It's selling well and it being niche are not like those are not like you can't. Those are not the same descriptor. Like Final Fantasy VII is arguably, I would say, one of the most, if not the most recognizable turn-based RPG.
Which makes it make
in
no
the world.
sense that it sold the way it did.
Which
That's
game
kind of
do
my
you
point.
think more people would recognize if you ask the average person? Final Fantasy VII or Helldivers?
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And Helldivers 2, I think, sold the most copies of any game this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
But that's what I mean, is like, you can't use sales as like, is it niche?
And I mean, like, think about this too. I mean, you know,
I
there's
think this Helldivers screams what people want, though. They want like kind of like quick in and out.
we've lost the thread. I don't even know what we're talking about at this point.
I didn't play Helldivers 2 yet.
I probably won't play it, to be honest.
It was fun. I played by myself.
Yeah, no shade against the game. I'm probably not going to be something I play. I don't really know what will potentially take over my top spot from Balatro for stuff that's coming out later this year. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I'm super excited for. I mean,
are we getting the Zelda game this year?
We are. So let's just hop right into the Nintendo Direct, because temperature check. I thought.
So
this
what do you
was,
mean? What do you mean? What do you mean you don't know which games could take over?
Well, I mean,
I don't think a Zelda game's going to take over.
I think for Brenden.
I mean, for me, it
for Brenden, yes, yeah.
Yeah. No, Todd. We already established you don't like indie games, but your indie game is your number one game this year. You don't like.
I love indie games because half of my favorite games over the last 5 years have been indie games.
You don't like turn-based RPGs, but you love Octopath and you love Final Fantasy IV. You don't like open world games, but you're playing Elden Ring right now. Like I don't know what's going on. You're back.
I still think Elden Ring's one of the greatest games ever made. Like I think that's like a top 10 game. Like just off.
Yeah,
of
I also love it. Yeah.
Off of sheer experience of like it's like fucking.
Talk about a game that doesn't hold your hand too.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying
He doesn't
I
like those
game.
kind of games, though.
No,
he doesn't like games.
I like unique games. I don't need every game to fucking be like reinvent the wheel and everything. But like, I don't know. All these games,
Todd, you just speak in paradoxes. You like
hold on a
unique
second.
games,
Hold on a second.
but you don't need every
me a
game
favor.
to reinvent the wheel. What?
Google what Elden Ring sold and in the grand scheme of things of what I'm talking about compared to fucking everything else we're talking about, and then we can be like, oh, okay,
23 million copies. 23 million copies. Todd, it was on Xbox One. It was on PS4.
Okay.
And right?
Yep.
Was it? Maybe it wasn't. Actually,
Is Final Fantasy VII remake? Is Final Fantasy VII remake on PC? Yeah.
It's on Steam as of like a month ago, I think.
Yeah. So it's like it's clearly not moving the needle. Anything like fucking.
What do you mean moving the needle? What do you like? I don't understand. Todd, we have gone down this path before. First of all, most games that are especially single platform don't sell well compared to things like Nintendo first party games that always seem to like crack 10 million somehow.
Like the shitty zombie game on PlayStation still sold like 8 million units.
I don't know what that is. What's the shitty zombie game?
Fucking Days Gone. Over over a generational 8 million. Over like a massive
8
fucking
million. There's 120 million PS4s out there. So 8 million out of 120 million.
You got close to half of that on PS5s right now.
Okay, but that game is not a PS5 game.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you have that many games out right. You have like almost 60 million PlayStation 5s out right now, and you got 2 million sales.
Is your whole argument you just want to say that Final Fantasy VII Remake didn't sell well? That's not a hot take. No, everyone knows that
I don't think
Square knows it did.
I'm saying
Square also said it didn't hit their expectations. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth also has this weird kind of thing of like there might be confusion for some people what that game might actually be, because the first game is called Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then it's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. There's also Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. So like there's a lot of confusing naming conventions there that maybe could be confusing to certain just like regular mainstream, not super dialed in people that know that it's a sequel, that this remake is actually a trilogy, and that could also factor into it. But it also is probably heavily gated behind the fact that it's a PS5 exclusive, and we're in this new generation.
Yeah, and my whole thing this whole time has been like, I'm saying like these games that like we've all got for the first half of this year have been like niche games. They're not like
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not a niche game.
Why isn't everyone playing it?
Well, I don't know, because fucking Fortnite exists. Like there are free games to play. Like
yeah, I mean like
why isn't Helldivers doing Fortnite numbers? Why isn't fucking why aren't any of these other newer multiplayer games doing Fortnite numbers or Apex numbers or Roblox numbers or Minecraft numbers?
Fortnite came in at the right time with like...
No, those games are all free. That's the answer. Royale. Those games are free. No. That's the answer.
Fortnite beat fucking the guys who created Battle Royales to the punch, and fucking they were ahead of everyone.
But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, why don't these current new games... People love Helldivers. Why isn't it doing Fortnite numbers? Why isn't it doing Apex numbers?
Did great for a long time.
I'm not saying it didn't. At no point did I say it didn't. I'm simply saying, why isn't it doing these things? Does that mean it's niche? No, it just means that people are spending their time and money in different ways.
The biggest game of this year, like easily, as far as like streams and overall thing. Like Helldivers is the game. If that's not rated, like that's been the game this year that everyone's playing.
I'm not playing it. I don't know anyone that's playing it.
Yeah,
one out of the four of us is playing
it. JRPG world.
One out of the four of us is playing it. How is it the biggest thing? That's not even half. It's not even half of us. How's it the biggest thing?
You can't tell me that game.
I'm not saying it didn't have a great success, but I'm also saying that like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not a niche thing. It's just not. Did it not perform sales-wise well? Yes. That doesn't mean that it's niche. Unicorn Overlord is a niche game. It is an RT. It is a real-time strategy RPG. That is a subgenre of RPGs. It is by definition and already just a more
only
niche.
Did 1.5 over that. 1.5 million over that. So I
that
think
doesn't
that's like,
make that doesn't make it niche.
I'm not saying it makes it niche. I'm just saying like, bro, like I'm just going by numbers
Dumb.
only. I'm going by numbers.
Dumb.
Like you're talking about 1.5 million to 500,000.
I am
That's like
not talking about numbers. He is now saying that Final Fantasy VII is not niche. Is that not what he's just been arguing for the last 10 minutes?
It's niche. I'm saying it's niche, just like Unicorn Overlord. Unicorn Overlord did 500,000 units, what you said, and then 1.5 more is Final Fantasy fucking Rebirth. I feel like that's pretty fucking niche.
Okay,
Like,
right.
Niche?
By this definition, Todd.
Like Call of Duty's not niche. Fucking like like any big game, Assassin's Creed, when that comes out, that game's not going to be niche. Everyone's going to be buying that game. Fucking Helldivers wasn't niche. Everyone jumped on board because it was a $30 game that didn't have fucking microtransactions.
I think you're like using the wrong word.
Yes.
What do you mean? I still feel like dude. I've been playing Final Fantasy since I was fucking 8.
Niche means that it's like doesn't have a big targeted audience.
I don't think my whole point is that Final Fantasy, if it had a big target audience, would be doing more than 2 million copies.
Todd, it
that's
would
my
be
point.
doing more than 2 million copies if it was on PC and Xbox and PS4, if it was more available. It is locked to a platform that is... Sure,
That
it's
everyone has.
No, not everyone has. 50 million people have. How many of those are people that own 2 PlayStation 5s? A portion of that, probably. How many of those are people that maybe bought a different version or a fucking 1 terabyte or whatever bullshit? Like, there's a small portion of that. But the adoption rate of all the... We've done this before, Todd. If I pull up the sales for fucking The Last of Us, for what PlayStation 4's install base is, those aren't impressive numbers for what it is.
It's still pretty high compared to everything we're comparing it to.
I'm trying to find sales figures for Assassin's Creed. What was the last Assassin's Creed?
Everything,
Mirage?
like
What was the
I'm
last
saying right now?
Assassin's Creed? Mirage?
Valhalla.
Mirage?
Mirage.
Oh, Mirage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 million copies.
Which is crazy because that game was a fucking like 20-hour game and like different than what they've been putting out there.
5 million copies. Ready, Todd?
Yep.
It's on PS4, PS5, Windows,
Yep.
Xbox One, Series X, iOS, and iPad. 5 million copies.
Okay.
It did double Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and it's on fucking quintuple more platforms, including
And
mobile.
It's been out a half a year more.
Hence why I say Xbox doesn't matter at this point, and it's PC and PlayStation.
It's on fucking mobile, and it's on
Who buys
PC.
those? Dude, who are buying those games on mobile? Let's be real. Like, come on. I don't know who's buying a. Fucking
You have a new fucking argument for like
No, but like you're bringing into an argument, and I'm saying like no one's fucking buying that game. No one's buying like a game that's meant for a console on a PC phone. And if they do, on a cell phone. And if they do, then they don't have the luxury of playing it on something else. But like those people aren't fucking like I'm gonna buy this on fucking Apple.
Todd.
There's
A
no
lot
way.
of people play on mobile that are younger than us. A lot of
Oh,
people.
I get that, but they're not
So-
playing those kind of games.
Okay.
They're playing.
I mean,
fucking, like,
somebody
PUBG and
clearly
Call of
is
Duty.
if they're getting ported to those platforms. Because I'm sorry, Assassin's Creed wouldn't be spending that type of money. Ubisoft wouldn't be spending that type of money to port it to those platforms if there weren't people potentially buying it there. I don't know. I can't find the sales figures for Valhalla, which already makes it seem like maybe not stupendous sales if it's not easily.
It's probably the same as Mirage, maybe a little higher.
You said it's fucking massive. It's not massive. It's just a little bit higher.
I'm saying like 5 million is like this in the new Assassin's Creed that comes out. That'll be a fucking massive
Right.
game.
According to Wikipedia, this is the top selling PlayStation 4 games. Okay? Spider-Man, 20 million. I would argue not great. Like, it's successful for them. I'm sure that's great return. But I would argue for
Budget was way too high,
Spider-Man,
though.
for a Spider-Man game, extremely internationally recognizable character.
He's a niche character.
He's a super niche character.
He is.
For
That game was
120
also 300 million
for
budget, so that's
120
not good.
for 120 million plus install base, 20 million, I would argue not fantastic. Not great.
Wait,
GTA
120
5.
That was only PlayStation 5, right? So that was only 60. You see
Marvel
Spider-Man
Spider-Man?
2 or what?
Marvel Spider-Man
Oh, you see the first one.
is
right.
actually cross-generational now, so it's on both, and it's 20 million.
Yeah.
And it's on PC.
And it's on PC. I don't know if that includes this in this current list, but GTA 5, 20 million. God of War, 19.5 million. I would say that's pretty good for God of War. Uncharted 4, 16 million. I feel like people praise that series. I feel like 16 million on 120 million plus install base. It's not a good attach rate, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Who do I know? Gran Turismo drops down to just below 13. Witcher 3. Last of Us Part 2, 10 million. Has a fucking HBO show. 10 million copies. HBO show.
In the last year.
10 million copies.
In the last year. Came out 2 years before the
It doesn't fucking matter. You can play it on fucking PS5. They made a fucking another version for PS5. It's an extremely recognizable
so
franchise
out of
for
everything
them.
you're telling me right now, literally everything, you've gave me all these numbers, and fucking Final Fantasy Rebirth is still fucking really far low compared to all the numbers you've given me.
I know. But again, Last of Us has an HBO show, Todd. An HBO show. It has
Dude, it's like a year old.
It has 6.5 million more units sold. I would argue that's not great. If your metric is that Final Fantasy is really bad as far as how many copies it sold.
No one's. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like I'm confused by like the praise for a game that's not really selling that well, and like
sales are not fucking indicative of how good something is.
So what if we did that for movies? We'd be like, okay, if these movies aren't making money,
Furiosa's not making money. Is it a bad movie?
Yeah, Furiosa's not making
What
money.
are we talking about?
No. I'm saying like they're going to keep on putting out these movies. Like Furiosa did not.
So now the argument is, are they still going to make them? What are we talking about?
Why are you trying to twist everything I'm saying?
Because that's what you just said. That's what you just said. You said, are they still going to make these movies if they're not making well? Is that the conversation we're having now?
They're not going to make them. They're not going to make these movies.
But that's not what we're even talking about.
But no, I'm comparing that to fucking the game side of things. Like you keep on saying like I'm saying like the sales don't. You keep on telling me sales don't mean anything, but they.
I'm not saying they don't mean anything. I'm not saying they're indicative of how if something is good or bad. Like Dom can say that Rebirth is a 10 out of 10 if it sold 5 copies. If he thinks it's a 10 out of 10, it doesn't matter.
Like, Sifu is one of my favorite games ever, and it's fucking. I probably didn't even hit 1 million, but like I get that side of things. But I'm saying like it's fucking Final Fantasy. We're not talking about like an indie game. We're talking about
hold on. So
Fantasy.
now you saying that?
Wait a second. Now it's not niche.
Yeah, I'm so confused. I'm
saying that it's niche to people right now because if it wasn't niche, people would be buying more. It's
You're
Final
not using
Fantasy.
niche correctly.
Okay, then fine. That's fine. But it's Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy selling 2 million copies. So Final Fantasy selling 2 million copies is fucking crazy to me because it's fucking Final Fantasy. You're saying like, oh, we have a TV show for Last of Us. Final Fantasy has decades of fucking games, and it's supposed to be this fucking big fucking thing. It should be doing way bigger numbers than what it's doing. And I don't think going to Xbox is going to change that.
I didn't say that, but it would still bump that up a couple mil.
Yeah, but like I'm saying that's
we're also
crazy
talking. We're also talking about 2 million in the U.S., right?
I have no idea. I also just don't like. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I guess my confusion is you said that like if it doesn't sell well, then they're gonna stop making games. Do you think they're gonna stop making?
I don't think they're gonna stop making Final Fantasy games. But I'm saying that like it's not like both of their last 2 games they put out have been like negative for their company. Like they haven't been games that have been successful for the company. 16 wasn't successful as they wanted it to be in Rebirth.
Square has already come out and talked about that some of their games have performed below their expectations, and that going forward they're probably going to put things on everything, which again is the correct move because people aren't necessarily buying 2 platforms anymore or 3 platforms. So that makes tons of sense. Also, Final Fantasy 14 is extremely, extremely successful for them. So like Final Fantasy is very strong. It is Final
Fantasy 14 is successful because people have to pay money every fucking month. So it's like they're indulging in like way more like you're getting like what like a one-time buy would get you is like they have to pay like double that in a year. Or Final Fantasy 14, you're talking about online, right?
Yeah, I actually don't know what you're talking about now. I'm so confused.
You have to have a subscription to play that game. Like after you get past the fucking stuff at the beginning.
I don't know. You're extremely hung up. You're extremely hung up on like sales figures being like the thing we're talking about. And it brings in a lot of money.
I'm talking about.
It's a subscription game. If it was not a good game, people would not stay subscribed to it.
I agree. Like, I'm not
Okay,
saying
so
that's not the
by
case.
definition, it's an ongoing, strong, healthy, good game for them. So I would argue that Final Fantasy is anything but niche, just off of 14's power right now. I don't even know what we're talking about. Nintendo Direct.
Kind of niche.
Definitely niche.
What temperature check? Good direct, bad direct? This is not a tight episode now because we just fucking argued about sales figures for 30 minutes.
Yeah, great stuff. Good direct. I think I say that knowing full well, I don't actually remember what they showed. I know there's Metro Prime 4, which
Fairy Tale.
They did show Fairy Tale. Again, it's a series that I don't know anyone personally who goes to bat for it as like a
Would
as a
you
manga
consider
or
it
as an anime. Niche? I might. The Marvel Capcom collection doodad, that one's pretty cool.
That was a big announcement.
Well, so just like overall
They can't get on
temperature check,
Xbox.
Mike thinks it's a good direct.
No physical on Xbox, right?
Nothing
It's
on
not
Xbox.
coming to Xbox.
Oh, nothing on Xbox.
Nothing.
For some reason I
Yeah.
thought it was not.
So from what I understand, the reason why it's not coming to Xbox, also not coming to PS5, is because the way that
No, it's
this.
going to PS5.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's a It's a PS4 Switch game, PC, PS4 Switch PC,
What?
PS4 Switch PC. From what I understand, the way that these games are being ported, the way that they run, are not supported by the framework in Series X and PS5. I don't know if that'll be updated at some point. I mean, you can play the PS4 version on your PS5, I'm assuming, but like there isn't a native PS5 version. Which is why there's no Xbox version, because I would imagine they would want to just put a Series version out and not an Xbox One version. But anyways, yeah, that's a big one for me. I'm very excited for that. An overall temperature check though, Todd, did you think it was a good direct overall or no?
I just want new hardware at this point. You can keep on throwing games at me, but I just want fucking new hardware. And like,
so Todd-
I feel like
So Todd said it's
I just
not
feel
a
like
good
this-
direct.
I just
Todd
feel
says
like there's
not
like
good direct, despite the fact they were very upfront from the beginning. We're not going to show the Switch 2.
yeah,
at the
no, I
thing.
get that, but like, is Metroid fucking Prime 4 coming to fucking? Is it just straight up coming to? Is it going to be that crossover game like Breath of the Wild was, where it's coming to Switch and
Does
the
that
new
matter?
console? Kind of, because I mean, like, I don't know, like it's my same issues with Switch has been like, I mean, I've said the same fucking thing forever. Like, you haven't got a fucking Donkey Kong game, and how long has Switch been launched for?
There was literally a Donkey Kong game in the direct.
It's literally just remake after remake, though, and I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, cool, but I would love.
Hey, Todd,
like,
Donkey Kong games don't sell well. It's probably why you're not getting one.
yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's fine. I mean, so if it did, so you're proving my point. So it doesn't sell well, it's niche. So like. If it sold more,
Todd, if you want to fall, I never said the word niche.
Like,
if you want to fall on the sword and say that Donkey Kong is niche, you can do that.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying because
totally.
I think it sold more than Rebirth, probably.
I mean, probably, but
No, it's not. So then.
It sold more than Rebirth's the marker. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'm gonna make a whole list. I'm gonna make a breakdown of things that are above Final Fantasy and below, and let's see how many things fall into niche according to Todd. So Todd hated the direct. Dom, did you think it was a good direct overall? I asked the temperature check, and your response was, "I want a new console. I'm so confused with Metroid Prime 4. Where's Donkey Kong?"
Which is like,
so to me, that's you hated the direct.
Switch is like Xbox One level, and we're about to go into like a new generation in like 3 years, and Switch is still fucking playing like these games of like.
Can I quickly interject?
Of course,
Yes, absolutely.
So Brenden asked for a temperature check. Todd said they didn't show new hardware. Brenden said, okay, Todd hated the Switch Direct. And then Todd responded with saying more negative things as if he was going to refute Brendan's thing. He's like, yeah. But look, I'm just saying they need to show, like, we're having all these new consoles. Like, Todd, okay, we said it. You didn't like the Direct.
It's okay to not like it.
Oh, it's fine. I just, I think that, like I said, like, the Zelda game, cool as hell. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like Nintendo's just leaning into like, how can we be creative and still use this mode that we've used in the last 4 games we've made? All right, let's like build stackable beds. Shit, and I'm like, cool. All right, cool.
Okay, again, it's you don't like the direct. It's fine to say that. Dom, you liked the direct or no?
Tropical Freeze, 2 million copies.
Niche, super niche.
Boom. It's tied with.
Was a character in a movie that did over $1 billion, but extremely niche. Nobody knows who that character is.
Correct.
They're not buying the games.
Combined with Wii U and Switch, I think Mario Kart 8 probably somewhere over 40 million. Donkey Kong, super niche.
To be fair, if you combine Switch and Wii U, it's 4.8 or something.
Oh, okay.
For a Tropical. And what about 3DS too? Wait, no, it's 3DS.
No, it was Returns.
That was Returns. Yeah, I thought it showed some games that I'm interested in playing. I was surprised to see the Zelda game. Like, I'm like excited to play that. There were some like smaller games, like off the top of my head, I can't remember, but like there was some stuff in there that I was excited about. I would say I'm like moderate coming out of it. I would say lukewarm is the temperature.
I mean, I can see why this direct
not cold
would be softer for some people, but for me specifically, it was like I think the only thing that could have pushed this over for me is being like I don't know, it still might be a pretty top tier direct for me. Like new Mario Luigi game, fucking huge highlight for me. That's like the fact that we're getting a new Mario Luigi game after that series has been pretty dormant for a while, and they closed the studio that makes it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like not super excited for it, because I don't know.
I hate animation. I hate that cell shaded stuff at this point too.
Oh, I like it. I think I mean, the Mario and Luigi games are typically like 2D games. I think they did a good job in this trailer, like
the last
transferring
one that came out on the 3DS.
Transferring that art style into 3D.
I honestly thought that was the best looking game out of the whole show that they put out there.
Oh, I mean, the standout for me is Zelda. I mean, it's a Zelda game. I love top down.
I don't want to summon enemies and have them fight for me and shit like that. I'd rather just like, I don't know, shit like that's just kind of.
Oh, do you not use do you not summon people in Elden Ring? You just go solo every fight?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm saying, like, besides like summoning, I'd like to be able to fight myself too, a little bit. Like, I don't need a lot, just a little bit. Who knows? Maybe it'll be in there.
It's too puzzle for Todd. That's what it is. I think that's what it actually is. I don't think you like puzzles, which is not a negative thing. I just think you don't actually like playing puzzle things.
I feel like they're trying to like lock into like this like Minecraft type of like, let's keep on using this technology of like you have to solve ways to get around things like Breath of the like Tears of the Kingdom was and everything else. And I'm just like, oh, it's more of this. Okay, I just give me like an old school.
You love both of those games.
I do, but I don't want to keep on doing that stuff. I'd like something like I would like a Link to the Past, basically. Like this, but like, I mean, I guess Zelda's cool. It's fine.
Did you play A Link Between Worlds?
But like in the trailer, yes. But in the trailer, like them showing me like, stack up 4 tables. I'm like, why am I stacking 4 tables over here in a fucking cave? Like, like it was like one of those things where I'm like, it's fine, but
Anyways, I'm really excited for that game. I think it looks fantastic. I love top-down 2D Zelda games. I love A Link to the Past. I love Link Between Worlds. I like the Game Boy games. I think I don't personally love the Link's Awakening Switch style. I don't hate it. Like, I don't like that graphical look, but
yeah, I agree with that.
Other than that, like, I'm excited for it.
I think that's your new 2D.
Probably. Which is fine. It's not the worst. There's something a little like, I don't know, too like toyetic.
Funko Poppy almost.
Yeah, like it in a way that like people hated, which everyone loves it now, but back when it was actually announced and coming out, there were a lot of people that vocally, loudly hated the way Wind Waker looked, and I always loved the way Wind Waker looked.
Same.
The difference with like a major departure, like very specific stylized take on like these characters in this world is that like Wind Waker is super expressive and had its own identity, and this style has its identity. I just think it's like a little too wooden at times. I mean, I'm still gonna love it, and if they don't put out a Zelda amiibo in that style, I'm gonna be really sad about it. But I can't wait for that. I mean, not a new announcement, but we got to see a lot more for it and see kind of what they were hiding within the announcement. The Dragon Quest HD 2D remake, I can't fucking wait for that.
I'm excited to play those games.
Yeah, like
I was gonna try to squeeze one of them in this year, but now I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, I squeezed in Dragon Quest 1 this year. I still might squeeze in Dragon Quest 2 because I think it's also sort of a shorter game. And then just not play 3, even though I already bought it on Switch, and just play it when it comes out in this remake. Not gonna lie, Donkey Kong Country Returns is a great game. That announcement does 0 for me personally because I don't think I have an interest in revisiting that game. I will probably buy it at some point, but I'm not like excited for it. I'm gonna very cautiously throw my hat in the ring for Mario Party Jamboree because I just want it to be a good Mario Party game, and I'm hopeful that maybe, but who knows?
I just don't care about Mario Party anymore.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, there've been a lot of not great games. We talked about the Marvel thing. Marvel thing's fucking phenomenal. Can't wait for that. I would recommend buying a physical copy of that, so that way when it eventually gets delisted, you still own the game.
I don't want to play that on Switch.
Play it on PS4 or PC. I mean, we got some Nintendo Online games, which were pretty cool. I like Four Swords. I think that's a great game. Zero Mission's a really good remake of the original Metroid. Perfect Dark and Turok are bangers, so there's that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else big for me. I mean, we already knew about Lego Horizons coming to Switch, but that was also there. Do any of you care about that? Like, is that a...
Nope. I mean, I don't know about everyone else.
Yeah, I didn't really care.
Dom, do you care about the Disney Illusion Island update that they showed in there?
I haven't played the update yet, but I mean, I will get to it.
Yeah. I know Todd loved the Funko Fusion trailer.
It's a cool idea.
He's a big Funko guy.
It's a cool idea I mean, it's essentially, if it's what I think it is, it essentially seems like Lego Dimensions just with Funkos.
Yeah. The Metal Slug Reloaded tower defense game has my interest. I like Metal Slug, and we're already supposed to get Metal Slug Tactics, so I'll take more Metal Slug any day. Mike, are you going to buy Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports?
Of course. You know how much I love Looney Tunes, how much I love sports. Like, those are my two favorite things.
I mean, I don't know.
My two tattoos, right, are Bugs Bunny. The viewers at home can see this for the visuals. Bugs Bunny and a basketball. I could have got a Space Jam tattoo, but I decided to get two separate things.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you like multiverses, so maybe you want to throw your boy Bugs some fucking love. I don't know.
Guys, you want me to be negative again for a quick second?
Yes, please.
Saints Row 5, the most recent one that was bombed, sold 1.7 fucking million. The same.
Okay, 1.7.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
a game that was like panned and fucking like everyone was like, "This is the worst game ever."
Okay, it's still.
I win.
You win what? What argument are you making there? It's sold less than Rebirth.
There's no argument. I'm just saying, like it's like
we were all actively trying to like get you to say what I think you were trying to say, and you just would never say it.
What am I trying to say?
I still actually at this point with everything that's been said, I don't know. But I think Dom and I were trying to like help you say.
You're trying to make me that I don't like the game, which is not the case. I just don't think it's.
I don't want to do this again. No, I don't think. No. Anyways,
I was just taking issue with your use of the word niche.
I think that was the main thing. I think you're just using the word niche wrong. I think
the
point
I'm
you're
using
trying to
niche
make,
in the respective of like 2 million compared to like 10 to 12 million, and it's not right. But like,
yeah, you just need to say it didn't sell well. I still don't know what argument you're trying to make with that, but it didn't sell well. That's not a secret.
No, there was no argument. I'm just saying, like, when I see here, like, that's the game of the year. I'm like, a game of the year is fucking like a game that sold 2 million. That's what people do.
Bro, Balattro's my game of the year. That shit is. Actually, I think it did sell kind of well for what it is, but it's not going to sell
Yeah,
like
it
10
did.
million copies. It's fucking
I don't,
Melandro.
and I don't even think that'll be mentioned though. Like that. Will
Oh,
not be
I absolutely think people are going to put that on their short list. You'll see that get mentioned in a lot of
I
places.
think people will put on the short list, but I don't think it's going to get any recognition. And
Who
like
cares
the
on the fucking short list? I think Unicorn Overlord's also going to get mentioned on certain people's lists. And
How
again,
do we think Stray sold?
Stray
Oof.
probably
It
sold
was free
pretty
though.
well.
It was free.
Oh
on
yeah, it was
PlayStation,
free, so I don't know how much
Was it
that
free?
affects it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ace
What did it say,
Attorney,
though?
Ace Attorney Investigations collection. I'm excited for that. One of those games was never localized before either, so that's kind of cool to get that over here. New Phantom Brave game looked pretty cool. It's a new RTS strategy RPG from not RTS, a strategy RPG from Nice. I think there was some of the. I mean, I've never played a Romancing Saga game. Have you ever played one of those, Todd? I feel like you would have in the Super
not.
Nintendo days.
What was it called?
Romancing Saga.
I don't think so.
Those are niche RPGs. But it's getting a full remake of the second game, and I'm actually pretty excited for that. To check that out. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it was a pretty solid direct. Obviously, there was Metroid. I mean, to go back to Todd's point earlier of like,
I liked Mio. I'm curious.
Oh yeah, Mio looked good too. And I don't know what the fuck Denpa Men is, but like I was intrigued by like the silliness.
I skipped over it. I have enough of the silliness.
Yeah, I mean I like oddball shit sometimes, so I'm intrigued. There was also like an Among Us update or something. We should play Among Us at some point.
Basketball.
Is that what the update was? Oh, basketball and Wii Sports.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Are you excited for Metroid though? Because I'd rather get like more of like the
100%. You'd rather get what? Metroid Prime 2 remake?
No, I'd rather get the Dread kind of games. I'd rather get that style of game.
Metroid Prime is probably one of the greatest games ever made.
I mean, I played the first one and a half, but like I don't know, it looked like very Halo-y. It didn't look like anything. Maybe their hardware will hold them back.
I'm realizing that Todd
I don't know what kind of
bad fucking takes on video games.
I don't know what kind of game Todd's looking for.
I don't know either.
I honestly, from Nintendo, I'm just looking from the basics. I don't.
He wants something basic, but he wants something unique. But he doesn't want something that's been done before. But he wants something that feels
from Nintendo.
What do you want from Xbox?
But it's on a new console.
Xbox, I want more PS5 style games from Xbox. I want more.
What do you want on PS5? Games. What do you want on PS5?
PS5, I'm fine with what I get. I have too many consoles. That's like my bottom feeder. That's like the last. Like I don't really need much from that.
All right, so PS5 gets a pass. PS5 gets a pass.
No, they just give me the exclusive. Although they've sucked this last year.
PS5 gets a pass, except Final Fantasy games, because those need to sell better.
Wait, hold on. PS5 gets a pass, but PS5 this last year. They haven't put a game what he likes in the last year. He's saying Helldivers 2 is the game of the year.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying that's going to be game of the year for a lot of people. But like for me, it was fun. But like if I played with friends, it would be way better.
This is my new favorite thing.
Playing by myself is not that good. But PS5, like they already have exclusive. Xbox hasn't had fucking exclusives. They finally have had exclusives for like the last 2 years. But like we had to sit there and wait for like the last 8 years. And then I just want Nintendo to be Nintendo. Give me my Marios. Give me my Animal Crossings. Give me my fucking basics. That's it. That's all I want.
Bro, they're giving you the basics. Crazy. They're giving you new Metroid. They're giving
me remakes. They're giving me fucking remakes.
Metroid is not a remake. Zelda's not a remake.
No. Sure, but like everything else they've done over the past like 5 years is.
But you are already disappointed without playing either of those games with what you've seen.
Yeah, because I mean, like
everything Nintendo's done over the last 5 years in remakes.
If they didn't suck Link out of that room, then I probably would have been like, that's my most anticipated game. But like, when they sucked Link out, now I'm like, oh, it's like a wand that can build stuff. I'm like, just give me fucking some weapons. I want to attack. I don't want to fucking sit there and have other people do my fighting for me.
Can you not attack in that game?
I don't
you
know.
can throw stuff.
You can throw rocks. Yeah. Like
so Todd doesn't like projectiles. He needs to have wackies. He's got to have.
No, I would like control over my Zelda. You know, like my attacks. You know.
So a game where you're playing as a different protagonist in a mainline Zelda game for the first time ever. He just wants them to play like Link. Got it. Understood. Okay.
I didn't need this game. I know some people did need this game, but like I would have like rather have like a game in that style of playing as Link.
What do you mean some people need this game? What are you even saying?
What do you mean? People have wanted to play as
Yes, I'm one of
Zelda
these
forever.
people, but what do you mean like people needed this game?
People wanted.
This could have been any type of Zelda game, and
fucking,
people would have been excited because it's a fucking Zelda game.
Yeah, I know, but people in Tears of the Kingdom, everyone was hoping you could play as Zelda. There was all these like theories, like
Yeah,
people have
I was
wanted
one
to
of
play
those
as Zelda
people.
for a while. Yeah, like I'm saying, like people have wanted to play as Zelda. That's been like a thing for a long time, but this doesn't look that great to me. Playing as Zelda, give me fucking Link. I'm not one of those people.
Sure, Metroid Prime 4 looks great. The Switch, especially when it's a Nintendo-made game, I think they pull some fucking wizardry and make things work and look really good. Tears of the Kingdom should not fucking work on a Switch. It should fucking make your Switch explode. And it looks beautiful, and it does incredible hardware gymnastics to run the way it does with barely loading anything. They hide loading in creative ways, like dropping in the pit to go to the depths, like stuff like that. Like they do some ridiculous stuff to stretch that hardware out. So if there's anyone that can take advantage of what the hardware is, I think Metroid Prime 4 is absolutely going to be, at bare minimum, a Switch game, if not a cross-generational game.
I think we gotta give a shout out to Xenoblade, by the way, because they were like the ones that originated the Switch being I don't know. They like used the most of the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, and that's that developer,
And
Monolith Soft, worked on Breath of the Wild and worked on.
That's what I was gonna say. Is
Tears of
they
the
were the
Kingdom.
ones that stepped
Yeah.
over. Yeah.
But Nintendo's kind of always been good at that. Like if you like dig into like the past, like Pokemon Gold and Silver were not supposed to include the Kanto region in that because it was way too big to fit on the cart, and they engineered that game to be able to fit all of that onto one cartridge so that you could essentially put all of the first game in with this new game because you go to both regions or whatever. So I feel like they've always been clever about stretching. I mean, historically their hardware is usually pretty weaker compared to its contemporaries in each console generation. I think the only time where the console itself was probably on par spec wise, I think, is the GameCube generation. I'm pretty sure the GameCube specs were pretty in line with Xbox and PS2. I think they were like all pretty close to one another in terms of like hardware specs. And then that generation, for a lot of different reasons, was not one of Nintendo's strongest ones. And then I think they, continue to pivot harder into the software that they make and making that the focus of what they do, and less about being like, we're the strongest hardware. We this, that, 4K, 8K, whatever it may be. Those things are all great.
Well, they started doing different shit.
Yeah, they do.
Their
Yes.
hardware was like different going.
Yeah, they also introduced like other things like motion controls and stuff like that for sure. But I would say with the Switch,
A tablet.
they pulled it back a little bit as far as that. Like the Joy-Cons, I don't think a lot of people are like. There's a lot of shit that has motion stuff that Nintendo and other developers do, but I mean it's also like, I guess by design, its form factor is a hybrid console, so like it is its own thing. Which
That's what I mean is like their hardware has been like, all right, let's make something that no one else is making.
yeah. So they've made some of the right pivots, but I think Metroid, like, I don't get like hung up on, is this game not going to run well? I think they if anyone can pull it off, I think they're the ones that are capable of doing it. And the fact that this game is coming out towards probably the last year of the Switch's life cycle, and they've been working on it for just as long, if not longer, they've mastered the hardware. They know how to work the hardware. So if anything, it's why Last of Us 2 could look and achieve the things it did, because it was at the end of that life cycle. Like, it was immensely more impressive that The Last of Us 2 did what it did on PS4 as opposed to it being like a PS5 launch title. Because it took every bit of power out of that console to make that thing do what it does. Anyways, I don't know. I thought it was a good direct. I'm excited for the next year and a half of the Switch to see what they have up their sleeve. One of the games that they showed off that I think it was a Nintendo game was like a 2025, not Metroid, which was a 2025, but there was another game that was like a early 2025 release date, and I'm just like, oh, okay. It might have been Donkey Kong, actually. It's like, what is that? Why is that a fucking January 2025 game? That's like a that would Donkey Kong. If that's the one, now I gotta look. What is that called? Is it just called Donkey Kong Country Returns HD?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, January 16th. Like, I don't know. That seems like a easy fucking holiday impulse, fucking stocking stuffer. I don't know. That just seems like a easy holiday win. January is a weird one for me on that one. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else anyone wants to add about anything before we wrap up this fucking garbage episode?
I like how every episode starts with Brenden saying, "We've got a great episode for you tonight," and then almost always by the end of the episode, Brendan's like, "Let's just wrap up this garbage episode."
I mean, I look at the clock, I look at the time stamp on the episode, I think about what we talked about, and I'm like, I don't know. What did we even talk about in the first half hour? I couldn't tell you at this point. We're talking about movies?
That was when we did a 700 takes of a fucking the first half hour.
Yeah, well, that's a different thing. Oh no, we talked about Madam Web for like 20 minutes at least. But I feel like I don't know what the fuck we talked about. Anyways, anything else anyone wants to say before we leaderboard and get the fuck out of here?
I have one more thing. Rise of the Ronin sold 1.6 million, so just fucking think about that, all right?
What do you want me to think about?
I'm just fucking with it.
I don't know. Final Fantasy had fucking like Butterfinger ads and fucking Crumble Cookies ads. Like, where's your Helldivers 2 fucking Crumble Cookie, Todd?
I saw an ad today for
not Crumble Cookie. It was like Insomnia Cookies. I don't fucking know.
I saw an ad today for it was like some mental health ad that was using Final Fantasy. And I don't know. I was very confused by that. I can dig it up and I can send it to you. But like, I was caught off guard when I turned around and I saw Final Fantasy on my screen while they were talking about.
Well, no wonder why everyone has bad mental health. Final Fantasy ain't helping anybody. People looking at that ad confused.
What characters?
It was just it was like just screen. It was a video from the games themselves. It was from
really weird
remake or rebirth. I wouldn't know the difference between the two. Talking about like getting help from your friends or something. I don't know.
To be fair, the games do like deal with.
I think that's why they used it, but it still caught me very off guard. Oh, that's right.
I don't know. They're pretty niche. It's weird to use in a mental health.
That's true.
Trailer.
Todd, you really painted a picture for yourself tonight.
Hey, listen, I've stood by my Final Fantasy takes over the last couple of years. Same thing I said about the first remake is what I said about the second one.
Did you like 16?
I did. I liked it a lot.
It sold worse than remake.
Did it really?
Did it? Oh, remake though. That's only
the start.
Yeah.
No, I mean Rebirth. I think it started.
I think 16 was like a not like that. The first reports came out for like the overall sales of that game before like Rebirth, and they were like not happy with like the overall sales of 16.
Yeah, Square's last financial update, they were very clear about they want to release things on multiple platforms now, not whatever. It's very clear.
Yeah, they keep on not doing that, and they wait for fucking Xbox for Octopath Traveler 2 till fucking like 2 years
this report
later.
is like a month or two old. They are like very specifically, without saying actually out loud, like saying whatever fucking first party or like exclusivity agreement they're making with Sony for whatever that payout is not fucking cutting it. It's not worth it. So it was probably worth it in the PS4 era. It ain't worth it now.
I also think part of Seven's problem right now is that they just released Rebirth, and like you said, the naming convention, and the fact that it's like the middle third of a game.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Like you're not gonna get somebody like you're not gonna get most people to buy the middle third of a game for $70.
especially if, again, because is everything about this rollout for people that are not in the know, like people that don't follow this stuff more closely, a more regular person that plays games that, like Todd, grew up and like maybe they fucking love Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was their jam. So when they heard Final Fantasy VII Remake was getting made, that was a game they bought. And then they played it and maybe they were just like, okay, that was like none of this game. I'm so confused. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that person then doesn't fucking buy it. But it also wouldn't surprise me if that specific person is still playing a PS4. You know what I mean? Like, and if they are, then they're just shit out of luck.
I don't think the younger audience is buying these games. I think like we're buying them, but like it's kind of like I don't know if you saw like Method Man. This is so off topic, but Method Man and Redman did like a summer fest for like Hot 95, and
Yeah,
they
they
like
said
said
they're
that
old.
they said they would never do it again because like no one understood their music, and like it was just like the crowd's reaction was terrible and everything. And I almost feel like Final Fantasy is staying alive from like the people from the older people, and I don't think it's reaching the younger people.
I don't agree with that, but
It's possible, but at the same time, like look how many JRPGs we've gotten in the last year.
No, it's so many. This year's been insane.
So like
yeah.
obviously there's like a market for them.
Yeah.
I mean I don't necessarily disagree with you that like almost like attention span is down, and like a lot of kids need a game that they can pop in and out of.
It's really what it is, and I'm
But
noticing that with Liam, like trying to get him to play. He started playing the Fallen Order, and he was like, he needs like instant gratification from like Fortnite or from fucking Roblox.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but again, I think a big one that you still don't agree with is that it
That's
is a
niche. I get it.
yeah, it's
Wait, what'd
exactly
you
what
say?
it is.
My
No,
mic just cut out
no,
for a
it's
second.
because it's that, Todd. You're right. Yep, no, die on that sword, please, 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 please. No, it's because it is a single platform game. And again, it is a single platform game in a sequel that also, I think, doesn't just have widespread acclaim. It has people and major websites and publications and podcasts and whatever that do have not just like a blanket love for it. It has its critiques, and that could also make people wait. People also don't have fucking money right now. Like, spending across the board on everything is fucking down in every industry. Like, everything's too expensive and nobody has money. And I don't know. Maybe you're waiting for that $70 game to be $30, $20. So,
or you're waiting for the third game to come out so they drop the collection.
exactly, because they are absolutely going to put out a fucking box set with all those games. So that is another thing. There are probably people that might be waiting for them to just put out the third game, and then they're going to play the second game, and then they're going to play whatever. So, anyways, that'll bring us to the end of this episode 425. Before we do, as we do with every episode, we play a little game to round it out. The scoreboard for the year so far is Dom at 27, Mike at 21, and Todd at 20. Ken and Eric both did get points last week on the special bonus episode. So on the guest leaderboard, Ken is now tied with Cam at 2 points, and Eric is in second with 1 point, or I guess that would make him in third. I don't know. Without further ado, let's get into it with a game we like to call Answer Unlocked. The way this game works, I read the achievement/trophies for the game. First person to guess the game correct gets the point. Game number 1. Escape its gravity. Use a blank blank to escape an enemy grapple. This is the moment. Dodge at the last minute to avoid an enemy attack. Not the last. Pick up the first blank blank. Shining in the night. Ignite a blank blank to keep enemies at bay.
The Bloodborne?
Incorrect. Secret stashes. Discover one blank blank and one blank blank. Finding a way.
Is it Alan Wake 2?
It is indeed Alan Wake 2. Dom gets the first point of the evening. Game number 2. Music lover. Obtain all blank blank.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Incorrect.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Incorrect. Master angler. Successfully fish 5 sparkling fishing spots.
Hades.
Incorrect. Decked out. Purchase or unlock all blank equipment and upgrades.
Monster Hunter Rise.
Incorrect. Relic Roundtable. Defeat an enemy by using each relic.
Elden Ring.
Incorrect. I scream for blank. Sample each of the blank king's blanks.
Demon's
Is it
Souls?
Shovel Knight?
It is indeed Shovel Knight. Dom gets the point. We have a potential sweep on our hands. Get the brooms out. Game number 3. I gotta skip that one. Blank blank. Complete an extreme difficulty mission or higher without anyone dying. Hold my primary. I'm going in. Complete a full hard difficulty mission or higher without anyone firing their primary or support weapon.
Is it Valorant?
Incorrect.
It's
Gone.
not. There's only 16 achievements on that. I feel like I would have known them all at this point.
And it's get 1,000 headshots, get 1,000 wins.
Get 300 headshots.
Yeah.
Get 600 headshots.
Gone in
60 seconds. That's what it is.
I don't know if I can say that one. We're going to come back to that one. Or that one. Yeah, I can't do that one yet. Caught them by supplies. Kill a blank with a resupply pod.
Is it Helldivers?
Helldivers 2.
I mean, it is indeed Helldivers 2. Todd, did you say 2?
No, I just said Helldivers, but that's basically what I was trying to say. But yeah, I get it.
I mean, Todd said Helldivers first, but he did not say Helldivers 2. What are we doing here? Are we doing
That's
a new
fine. No, I
game?
didn't say-
Are we doing a point for who?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me because I mean, Dom got it up.
Just move on. Just do another.
Okay.
Just do a different game.
So no point for that. All right. Special bonus round. Bonus question. All right. You need to give me the full title
Full legal name.
to get the points. Warming up. Win a battle. Weakened resolve. Exploit an enemy's weakness. Bonds of friendship. Free a bound ally.
All these sound so familiar. No fucking clue.
Staggering start. Stagger an enemy. Music collector. Collect.
Final Fantasy 16.
Incorrect. Music collector. Collect.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Incorrect. Music
Final
collector.
Fantasy VII Remake.
Incorrect. Music collector. Collect 3 music discs.
Oh, discs.
Gotta start
Fuck,
somewhere.
man. I feel like I know what this is too, and it's just not clicking.
Gotta start somewhere. Complete a quest. My first ability. Max out a weapon's proficiency.
This isn't gonna bother me.
All right, I'm aggravated here. This is a wipe. We're not doing this
Why?
because it pulled them weird and it fucked up. I was doing Intergrade, but it had roped in remakes as well. But I was intending to do Intergrade specifically.
Good.
Because Integrate is both games.
Yeah, I thought it would would have listed them separately. I thought that's what I was reading, but I was reading them together.
Final Fantasy VII. Well, I forget what that portion is called. It has its own title.
Intermission. All right, so an actual fourth
Integrated.
fifth game.
Integrate is both.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay. We need to pivot hard here. What other niche game can I pull up? What's a good niche title?
Probably...
If it's niche, I wouldn't know what it is.
All right, we're going right into it, Devil Horns, because we're at too many games now and my brain's broken. Almighty blank. All achievements or trophies unlocked. The blank ring. Completed the quest, the blank ring. The priestess abducted. Completed the quest, the priestess abducted.
Bloodborne.
Incorrect.
Right.
Incorrect. Another prince. Completed the quest, another prince. Heir.
Out of his 716.
Incorrect. Heir to the Dragonlands. Completed the quest, heir to the Dragonlands. O'er wood and water. Completed the quest, o'er wood and water.
You said this is Devil Horns?
Yeah.
Is this the Telltale Game of Thrones game?
Incorrect. The Witch's Word. Completed the quest, the Witch's Word. Legacy of the Lion Kings. Completed the quest, Legacy of the Lion Kings. A Fleeting Dream. Completed the quest, A Fleeting Dream. Bound by Sacred Oath. Completed the quest, Bound by Sacred Oath. The Holy March. Completed the quest, The Holy March. Title of this game. Completed the quest, title of this game. Dying Breath of an Empire Fallen. Completed the quest, what I just read. The Rite of Covenant. Performed the Rite of Covenant on the Isle of Palavia.
Yes, based off of fucking what we've been doing all night tonight. And I'm going to say... Oh, wait. Fuck, I lost it. Sorry. I lost it. I lost it. Oh.
Mike, you going in for the steal?
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Famously has achievements and trophies. Wisdom's
also has princesses and
yes.
And dragons.
You
Yeah.
perform rights.
Unicorn
You perform
Overlord.
rights.
Unicorn Overlord.
Todd gets the niche game, Unicorn Overlord, which puts the tie in second place back on the board. Mike and Todd sitting at 21. Dom pulls ahead further with 29. This has been a hell of an episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't be mad at Todd for his bad takes. He's just human. He's just Todd. He's just some guy. He's just a dad. He's just
He has
a father.
niche takes.
Niche takes. Anyways, we appreciate you. We'll see you next time.